50 degrees, and dry at Fenway, at least for now, as the Red Sox and the Cardinals kick off the World Series. John Hirschbeck will call the balls and strikes. Mark Wegner working at first base. Dana DeMuth at second base. Paul Emmel at third base. Bill Miller down the left field line, and down the right field line, it's Jim Joyce. The injury report sponsored by the Orthopedic All-Stars at Newton Wellesley or Orthopedic Associates. Jacoby Ellsbury, of course, has had the broken foot, but he's been playing well with it. The stress fracture, and Shane Victorino with various ailments. Dave and I happy to have Lou Merloni joining us here in the booth for the World Series. And Lou, a pretty good matchup. Two clubs that are very similar in style.
Yeah, that's a great matchup. We're talking about it, right? They mirror one another, but this is what it's all about. This is why you play the game, and it's an honor to be up here to call it with you guys. If you're not excited about this at this point, I don't think you get excited about anything.
We're pretty darn excited, and we're ready for game one. Thanks, Lou. Joe, great to be alongside you. And Jon Lester on the mound, his second World Series, and a big left-hander into the windup. The first pitch to Carpenter, flashballs popping, and it's low for ball one. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball to Matt Carpenter. And underway. And again, that's where the hitter has to step out for a moment, kind of clear his vision. With 1,000 stars in his face with all the popping of the flashballs. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. And that's in there for a knee-high strike. 1-1 on Carpenter. Johnny Lester's second World Series 6 years ago. He was 23 years old, and he got the win in the World Series clincher at Colorado, a 4-3 Sox victory. So he's been on this stage before. He's into the wind. Here's the 1-1. Carpenter swings, ground ball to short, charged and backhanded by Drew. Flips it on the move, and he gets him. Moving quickly toward the third base side, backhanding that ball, and that's a big reason that he is remaining in the lineup and will throughout this World Series. There should be no debate. Stephen Drew, especially if he shows a little more life offensively, will really, really be worth his weight, because defensively he's outstanding.
He was great. You even saw in Game 6 the play made up the middle of Miguel Cabrera, but baseball players like to change sometimes. You know, if you're struggling in April, May 1st, you like that, right? It's a new month for you. And for Stephen Drew, maybe he says, you know what, the ALCS so far in this postseason, I haven't swung the bat well. This is a new, fresh start. But defensively, he has been outstanding.
That'll bring up the veteran Carlos Beltran, batting right-handed, swings at the first pitch and bloops a foul out of play to the right. And that'll drop into the stands. Beltran, 296 during the regular season, 24 homers, 84 runs batted in. This is his 16th year in the majors and his first World Series, the 0-1 home. Swinging and a foul back to make it 0-2. He's a switch hitter. This is his fourth trip to the postseason, but never to the October Classic until now. Matt Holliday is on deck, one of the strongest men in the majors. This is a Cardinal team, just like the Red Sox, that won 97 games. Here's the 0-2. Swing, ground ball, rattled toward third, but foul. That was on a curveball. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Hey, it's Lou. Tune in tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. as we break down Game 1 of the World Series. We'll talk to Kevin Millar and Aaron Boone. This is WEEI 93.7 FM, Lawrence, Boston.
Lester looking for his first K of the series. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Nasty cutter down and in to punch out Carlos Beltran. And there are two down.
Well, once again, we're seeing Jon Lester come out here like we've seen so many times in the postseason and really establish fastball in early to get them thinking about it. And when you establish in, they see that power up there, 95 miles an hour. You got to cheat a little bit, makes that cutter more effective, which is exactly what we just saw there from Beltran, swinging over the cutter down and in.
Every time our hometown team hits one off the left field wall, Walgreens donates $100 to the Jimmy Fund. Walgreens at the corner of happy and healthy. Here's the big slugger, Matt Holliday. First pitch to him, swinging a chopper up the middle. It's going to go through for a base hit just to the right of second base and off into the Boston Strong logo, shaved into the grass in center field. So first ball swinging, and that appears to be the early attack here for St. Louis, going after the early pitches from Jon Lester.
Interesting, really. The first time he went fastball away on a guy, he does it to Holliday. Doesn't get it outsized maybe as much as he wants. First pitch single.
Cardinals are only 19-23 in the regular season against left-hand starters.
Here comes the biggest mystery of this World Series right now, and Alan Craig.
Well, he's back in their lineup. at the designated hitter spot. He hit .315 during the regular season with 97 runs batted in. He was an all-star this season and incredible with men in scoring position. Right-hand batter. Swings and fouls one back for strike one.
He hasn't played in the game since the 4th of September.
That's when he sprained his left foot. Missed the last 22 games of the regular season and the division series and the league championship series. That was on an infield single after he tried to apply the brakes rounding first base. He's been out since then, so they're really not sure what they're going to get. In Alan Craig, runner at first base in the 0-1. Swinging, it's wrapped foul on the ground to the left on a curveball. It's 0-2.
One thing that'll help Alan Craig out a lot is his approach at the plate is very simple. There's not a big leg kick. It's not a big timing at bat. Really doesn't stride, doesn't have much of a stride at all. Tries to stay in the middle of the field. That can help him, but I don't care. 43 days without seeing live pitching. It'll be interesting to see if he's effective here at Fenway Park as a DH.
He's facing a left-hander throwing 95 out of the gate. Craig down 2 strikes to Johnny Lester. Runner at first base in Holiday. Here's the 0-2 home. And it is just inside, says John Hirschbeck. Another cutter, but off the corner, and the count moves to 1-2.
Hirschbeck has always been pitcher's umpire.
Yes, he has. One of your biggest nightmares, Joe, is seeing Hirsch behind the plate with Tommy Glavine on the mound. Because you're in for a long one. You better get that 36-inch back because he's going to give a few inches on the outer half.
High set around the chest by Lester. He eyes the runner at first base. 2 down, a runner on, and a 1-2 home. Swinging a little pop-up on the infield right side. Pedroia to the right of second. Makes the catch. Side retired. And after a half inning of Game 1 of the 2013 World Series, it's the St. Louis Cardinals 0 and the Red Sox coming up. Question for you: who is going to be the AutoZone in the zone player of the game for Wednesday's World Series matchup? Will it be David Ortiz, Jon Lester, Carlos Beltran, or Adam Wainwright, who just finished up his warm-up tosses as the Cardinals starter? To vote, go to ESPNradio.com. Lou, a quick scouting report now on the right-hander Adam Wainwright. He's 6'7", 235.
Well, like you said, 6'7". Fastball is going to still hump it up about 94 miles an hour. He's cut a curveball. The occasional changeup, the money pitch for him is this curveball, 12-6 drop. Red Sox are going to make sure that he can show that he can throw that ball for strikes. It's his best pitch, but has a tendency pretty much go cut a curveball more than he will throw a fastball at times in some outings. Still one of the most underrated pitchers, I think, in the game.
Yeah, Geico text question of the game: give us your World Series prediction. Who wins the series and in how many games? Text us your answer to 37937. Tonight's question brought to you by Geico. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. Jacoby Ellsbury in the box, hitting .400 for the postseason, and the first pitch is up and away for ball 1. Wainwright went 19-9 during the regular season with a .294 ERA. Superb command. He's walked exactly 1 batter in 23 postseason innings. He delivers. And a little high for a ball. 2-0 on Els. Victorino on deck, and then Dustin Pedroia. Sox, of course, have won 8 consecutive World Series games. Trying to keep that alive tonight and run it to 9 in a row. After sweeping in 04 against these Cardinals and in 07 against Colorado. The tall right-hander's 2-0. Swing, ground ball, wrapped toward first, a foul off the chalk line. 2-1. Wainwright has that long basketball type body, so he gets great leverage, particularly on that hammer of a curveball. It's one of the best hooks in Major League Baseball, and it can be a deadly pitch for him.
We've already seen a 1-0 cutter and a 2-0 cutter here from Wainwright, and that's a good count. Hitters start to get their eyes open a little bit and cut them.
2-1 on the way, and a strike. Picking up the outer half with another cutter. That evens the count at 2-2. This for Jacoby is his second World Series. He led the Red Sox as a rookie against Colorado, hitting .438 in the 07 series. He was outstanding, 7 for 16. Wainwright spins up a 2-2, swung on, grounded foul off to the right. That was the curveball, and knocked right to the doorstep of the Red Sox dugout.
An interesting number sort of jumped out in his last outing. When he was 2 strikes on lefties, threw 100% curveballs. I had to kind of check that. I mean, 100%. But here he is right away. Gets that two strike count. Goes right to that curveball.
Ellsbury trying to reach immediately here in the first inning. Here's the 2-2. And over but low for a ball. A fastball at 94. Great eye by Jacoby. Victorino waiting his turn on deck. Now, of course, the man behind home plate is the best throwing catcher in the major leagues. Yadier Molina. He tends to be a stop sign. If Ellsbury gets on here, that could immediately set up a great first encounter between the best base stealer and the best catcher. The 3-2. Curve down, low ball 4. He walked it.
There's an upset right there. 1.3 walks per 9 innings.
Just his second free pass issued in the postseason. Shane Victorino will dig in next.
Yeah, Obi, you mentioned the Yadier Molina effect, and it's not just on the stolen bases. We talked about it earlier. The secondary leads where the Red Sox can be so aggressive, look for balls in the dirt to advance, or get a good secondary to go first or third, or score on a wall ball. A catcher like Yadier is like Pudge Rodriguez. That secondary lead, you got to be a little bit shorter because he's got such a quick release. He will try to pick you off at any bag.
Any base, you're right. First, third, or second. He'll throw down a second base as well. First pitch to Shane is in there for strike one. Victorino 237 for the postseason with 1 home run, but what a home run it was. He was just 3 for 24 in the American League Championship Series, but he sent the Sox to the World Series with that grand slam in the 7th inning of Game 6. Ellsbury leading off for first base. He's not running. The 0-1 breaking ball, that's low. Big slow curve at 77 miles an hour. One thing about the Cardinals starters, certainly the first two we'll see in the series, Wainwright and Waka, they both like to work very fast. They like to get the ball and throw it. Petey on deck. Ellsbury digs out a lead, not a big one. Now the throw over, and he scoots back in there on his feet safely.
First World Series start for Wainwright, who was a closer in 06. In fact, he got the last out when they beat the Tigers in 5 games. He was hurt, did not pitch at all in the World Championship year of 2011.
Working from the set. 32-year-old out of Brunswick, Georgia. Pauses at the belt. Runner holding, and the pitch is a strike over the inside corner. Shane didn't like the call. He looks back at Jon Hirschbeck. He was not fond of that pitch, which was right on the black.
Yeah, the problem with Shane right-handed now, he doesn't get a good look on the inner half because he dives so much. You see him complain a lot about strikes that are in because he's so close to the plate. He really doesn't get a look at it, so he's not quite sure of that strike zone inside.
Of course, he's been hit by a pitch 6 times in this postseason. The 1-2 from Wainwright, swinging a line drive in the left field coming on Holiday. He'll make the catch chest high, and Ellsbury retreats to first base. That ball was hit well, maybe a little too hard by Victorino. Got a good swing on it. Out number 1, we have reached the Giant part of the order. For every home run hit by Sox batters 3 through 6, Giant Glass donates $200 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Massachusetts. And Dustin Pedroia next. Petey so far hasn't exactly lit everything on fire. He's hitting .256, no homers, 6 RBIs in the postseason, and a lot of folks around town believe he is due. He is due for a big series. Now the throw to first, but Ellsbury was practically on the bag anyway and safely in.
Well, remember, in his first World Series at bat in 07, he led off the bottom of the first with a home run.
It was against Colorado.
And Jeff Francis. He made Francis famous.
Yeah, he did.
Made that security guard at Colorado famous the next day, didn't he?
Set, runner holds. The pitch is in there for a called strike. So thus far, we have not seen Ellsbury even think about stealing second base.
You know, one thing would be interesting to see if John Farrell wants to stay aggressive. Wainwright's pretty quick to the plate. We know what Yadier can do. Do they hit and run a little bit more, even with a guy like Jacoby Ellsbury? Maybe get a ground ball in the hole, get some action, get some aggressiveness on the base pass.
Get him down to third. Big hole on the right side. He's holding again, and the pitch is outside. A cutter away. 1-1 on Petey, who hit .273 in the American League Championship Series. No score first inning. The 2013 World Series. Red Sox pretty much had their way against National League opponents during the season. They went 14-6 against the NL and outscored them by 64 runs. They abused the National League. Ellsbury leading. Holding the pitch. Waved at and missed. Petey was off stride on a 76-mile-an-hour curve, and the count goes to 1-2.
Well, there's that big curve. If you're wondering if Wainwright was able to get the feel of that pitch here in a little cold night, he's showing a pretty good one here early on.
We'll see as the temperature continues to tumble. It is expected to get down into the lower 40s tonight. We'll see if he continues to have a good feel for it. Here's the pause at the belt. Runner holds and the pitch is outside. Stopped by Molina. He came up as if to gun but did not throw to first base. We got a visit from a Cy Young Award winner, John Smoltz. He came into the booth before tonight's game, and he was talking about the effects of a breaking ball in cold weather like this. And he said there were many, many times in postseason play in October where he would leave the bullpen and he would leave a breaking ball behind because he did not have a feel for it. It was just too cold, didn't have good circulation. He had to drop one of them. Might be a splitter, might be a slider.
You never know it from his postseason success.
Right. Always made the right call, didn't he?
Made the right decision. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a line shot up the middle, base hit into center field. Ellsbury was not running. He will move up 90 feet and stop at second base. Now the Red Sox are getting some pretty good swings right away against Wainwright. Shot up the middle by Pedroia. And then the Red Sox are threatening with runners at first and second for David Ortiz.
Well, it's the second cutter Wainwright has thrown now that's been hit pretty hard. It was the cutter to Victorino where he lined out to left, and another cutter that was left up that Pedroia did a nice job staying up the middle on it. When you're facing cutters as a righty, you don't want to come off that ball. You got to stay to the middle of the field. When you hit the ball off the end of the bat, that's when you start rolling over. But it was a nice job by Petey staying up the middle.
Can the Red Sox do something they had an awful time doing against the Tigers, even though they took care of Detroit in 6 games, and that is get in front, score early, get some hits up on the board, get this prodigious offense going? We'll find out right now. Here's Big Papi. David hitting a 200 for the playoffs, but with 3 homers. The pitch up and away for ball 1. Now, home field advantage matters in baseball and insurance. With Arbella, you always have the home team on your side. Arbella understands what it's like to drive in New England because it's something they do every day. Arbella here for good. Papi brings up the bat. The pitch. Fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. Little cut to it at 90. That trimmed the edge, and the count's 1-1.
One of the interesting things in this series is the efficient Cardinal pitching staff. You know, they get through 7 innings on 95 pitches. And we already see Wainwright's about to deliver his 19th pitch of the first inning.
He stretches, looks back at Ellsbury, looks in, looks back at Ellsbury again, and now David gets a little tired and he asks, he steps out. It's amazing to think that Big Papi actually had fewer hits in the American League Championship Series than Shane Victorino did. Shane had 3. David went 2 for 22.
They each had a couple loud ones.
Boy, did they. The grand slams that made all the difference. The 1-1 breaking ball, and that sinks a little bit low. David would not bite on the curve, and the count goes to 2-1. The wind is not a factor, certainly at the moment. Flag in center field is straight down. Red Sox with a first inning threat in a scoreless game. Ellsbury at second. Pedroia at first, so very good speed on the bases. Here's the pitch. Swinging a chopper to the right side. Charged by Carpenter. Flips sideways to second. Dropped! Oh, he's going to say he's out on the exchange. John Farrell's going to come out on this. They're going to be safe on the corners. And the second base umpire, Dana DeMuth, is going to say Pedroia is out at second base on the exchange by Cosma.
That's a terrible call. Awful.
He never had it. He never had possession.
That is a blown call of the first variety.
Oh, what an awful call.
I don't know how Dana can call this. It is right in front of him. I mean, he is in position to make this. This goes off the edge of Cosma's glove. This isn't even a close call.
He never had it.
It
clanked off the webbing. It was a clank.
It should be either an error on Carpenter or on Cosma, but there's no way they got it out there. And John Farrell is livid. He's pleading right now at the umpire in front of second base.
And he had a good look at it, too. Cosma was trying to get out of the way.
He never had possession.
It wasn't even close to possession.
It wasn't even in his glove.
That is just a inexcusable, awful call by Dana DeMuth.
Now the umpires are going to get together to the left of second base. They could save him a lot of embarrassment right here. They could make this a non-issue by overturning this call.
Well, even if they get it right, Mike Matheny's going to go absolutely crazy if they reverse this call. I mean, I like the fact that they're getting together right now.
All 6 of them, by the way.
Yeah, this is something you wouldn't have seen a few years back.
They're all talking about who had a better look at it. This is the World Series. They've got to get this right. John Farrell is waiting on the diamond, just behind the pitcher's mound on the grass.
Have you ever seen a call like this be reversed? I mean, this is
not a regular
a judgment call.
Not a judgment call. No.
They're actually discussing right now. You don't see this.
But you've got replay looming next year. Let's see what they do here.
He looks like Hirschbeck's going to go over talk to Matheny.
They're going to put him back.
Well, even though the call is right, Mike Matheny.
Well, wait a minute. They're going to bring Petey out. They're going to put him back on second base.
Wow.
And the bases are going to be loaded here with 1 man out for the Red Sox. Matheny is out. And talking with the home plate umpire, the crew chief Hirschbeck, along the third base line. But he has no room for argument.
No, other than the call was made. I can't compare it to other calls on the field. Out safe call at first base, a judgment call by an umpire. This was a judgment call by an umpire who was in position. This is extremely embarrassing because he was 5 feet from the play and blew the call. And for them to reverse this, Mike Matheny's just probably upset about the incompetence of Dana DeMuth.
This is not like reversing the home run call of Mark Bellhorn shot to left field or the slap by Alex Rodriguez. This is something that's pretty much unprecedented.
Yes.
It's unprecedented, but it is within the rules.
Yes.
They can go ahead and change a call if another umpire saw it differently, and that's exactly what they've done. To their credit, they have gotten what would have been a terribly embarrassing call overturned, and they're getting it right. That's the bottom line.
And I think that's really what matters here. I understand the frustration from Mike Matheny, and he should be upset about this, but you see Joyce down there, Jim Joyce down there, and listen, and Hirschbeck, the veteran guy. John's been around for a while. He realizes we're in the first inning of the World Series. All the eyes are on them right now. They got the call right, and that's what's important.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hirschbeck was a prime mover there because he was in a good position to see it.
Well, they all got together, all 6 of them, and changed the call. They got it right. It was not an exchange. They're going to charge the error to Cosmo, which I also think is the appropriate thing to do. Fielder's choice, E6. And so the bases are loaded for the Red Sox. And we'll see if Mike Napoli can make this pay off right away. Red Sox with a man at every base and all ready for Wainwright. The Wolf is at the door in the World Series, game number 1. Here in the bottom of the first inning, no score at the moment. Mike Napoli in the box on the right side, and the pitch. Fastball, and it's inside for ball 1.
Going back to that play, I don't like that defensive setup. I don't like when a double play and you got the shortstop on the right field side of the bag, because you're accustomed to go after the baseball. It's hit the second base. He now has to move towards second. He's worried about finding the base. It's unnatural, and a great shortstop took his eye off the ball. You just normally don't see that. And I point to the defensive, the shift that they had put on.
You see a lot of double plays, bots, when they have that shift on. Molina wants to get together with Wainwright. The Napoli, great postseason numbers in the World Series. His one World Series with Texas. He hit .350 with 2 homers and 10 RBIs. Might have been the MVP had they not blown it.
Yeah, that was against St. Louis. It was against these Cardinals in a 7-game series. DeMuth on the replays we're looking at was very, very emphatic that it was an exchange drop and there should have been an out recorded there. So he didn't look like he had any second doubts, any doubts at all about his own blown call. I guess he's got to try and sell it. And luckily, they reversed it. Bases loaded, 1 down, and here comes the 1-0 pitch to Napoli. That's over but low, and the count goes to 2-0.
This becomes an extremely important at-bat. We always talk all the time. You got to get a good pitcher early. You don't want him to settle in. You got a great opportunity here if you're Mike Napoli sitting 2-0.
Ellsbury at third base. Pedroia at second. Ortiz at first. 1 man out. The 6'7" right-hander Wainwright delivers. Swinging. There's a shot. Rifle into left center. It's into the alley. It's on the grass. It's on the track. It's up against the wall. Ellsbury scores. Pedroia scores. Big Papi churning around. He will score. He
It's all about taking opportunities. You know, I'm doing the best with them. That's what Mike Napoli does. 2-0. You got a good pitcher on the ropes, trying to take advantage of a miscue defensively. 2-0 heater up and in. He stays inside the baseball, which is a great approach because you're not sold on the fastball. You could think cutter right here and hits this ball in the gap. It's like Robinson struggles a little bit off the wall, which allows David Ortiz to score.
He did. He bobbled it. It wasn't even close at home. And Derek Lilliquist, their pitching coach, is at the mound.
Ellsbury, Petey, and Big Papi all come in to score. The Red Sox off to a tremendous start in the first inning. Mike Napoli rocketing a double into the gap in left center field for 3 RBIs. Lilliquist has his say with Adam Wainwright. Remember, he walked the leadoff man. And how odd that is, especially with the command that he has. So immediately you were thinking it could be a promising inning for the Red Sox, and then Shane Victorino hit a liner, and then Pedroia lined a base hit. So they're getting very good swings, and Johnny Gomes looks to keep it running here.
Sox have put up 3 runs, and it's not even used to seeing that after what, the 7th, 8th, 9th inning against Detroit. It's been a while since we've seen a crooked number.
Sure has, especially this early. Johnny gets in hitting 200 for the postseason, takes a curveball in for strike 1. No homers, 2 RBIs for Johnny, who's been the good luck charm for the Red Sox in the postseason. They have not lost a game that he has started. The Sox are 6-0 in the playoffs with Johnny in the starting lineup. Napoli at second base, 1 out in the 0-1. It's up and in with a fastball around the chest.
Last time they scored in the first inning this postseason, Game 3 of the division series against Tampa Bay, an unearned run against the Rays.
I think the good news as far as the series in baseball is concerned about the play at second base. The 1-1 coming, swinging a liner, 1 hop, 2 hops, and off to the first base side. Adams corrals it and races to first base, and he gets the out. First baseman on a tough play. He was handcuffed a bit on a hot shot by Gomes. Down to third moves Mike Napoli, and there are 2 down. That was another hard hit ball, and here comes the youngster Xander Bogaerts. For me, the good news is even the Cardinals and even Cardinal fans can't go back and look at that call and say, in overturning the play at second base, they got it wrong.
Right, and I think that's what's important here. I mean, without instituting instant replay, I feel like we almost just got it. And,
yes.
and the reason for it is to get the call right, which is what they did.
Xander Bogaerts becomes the 7th Red Sox batter here in the first inning against Wainwright, and the pitch is taken for strike 1. The youngster at 21 is the youngest player to appear in the World Series since Miguel Cabrera in 2003 for the Marlins when he was 20 years old. Napoli at third, the 0-1. Strike on the outside edge with a big hook, and the count quickly 0-2 on Xander.
Apparently they did charge an error, Dave, to Robinson, so it's only 2 RBIs.
So St. Louis has committed 2 errors in the first inning. Here's the 0-2 home. Another breaking ball, check swing, and it's down low. They do appeal. First base umpire Mark Wegner says no swing.
Red Sox love first innings. The first games of World Series in 2004, 4 runs, 4 hits in the first inning against the Cardinals. A 3-run homer by Ortiz and a single by Miller. 2007, 3 runs on 5 hits in the first inning against Colorado. Petey had a leadoff home run, and J.D. Drew had an RBI double.
Sox up 3-0 in the first. And a 1-2 coming. Breaking ball, and that is inside.
Those series ended up pretty good for the Sox.
They didn't lose a game.
You know, one of the advantages I felt the Sox had coming into this series was defense. I felt that they were a better defensive team than the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, Cosmo was one of the guys you came out and said, well, he's an exceptional defender, and he comes out and makes an error. But that's 2 now for the Cardinals in the first.
The 2-2 to Bogaerts. Cut on the miss. Down he goes, strike 3 on a cutter up and away, and that struck him out. But that's 31 pitches Wainwright required to get 3 outs in the first inning. And the Red Sox score 3 times. Great start for the Sox, and after 1, it's the Red Sox 3 and the Cardinals nothing. And on top 3-0 for Jon Lester. And here's Yadier Molina, who may be the most valuable player in the National League. First pitch to the catcher, right hand batter outside, low ball 1.
Yeah, it's amazing. The Red Sox in first innings, the first inning of the World Series Game 1, the last 3 times they've been there, have scored 10 runs.
The 1-0 pitch, and in there for a called strike. Wainwright certainly didn't look great. He didn't deserve to get that out at second base. That was eventually overturned after Dana DeMuth's blown call. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing, lash, foul. Out of play, up to the right, up into the State Street Pavilion. 1-2 to count. But he certainly looked off his game when he walked the leadoff man, Jacoby Ellsbury. The Red Sox were able to bring Els in and 2 others on a shot into left center.
3-2 curve to Ellsbury. Give him some credit to lay off of that pitch, but that really got it going.
Lester fires the 1-2, and it is in there for called strike 3. Got him looking. Molina doesn't argue it, but he tossed his head back and stalks away. You can tell he's upset. You guys both talked about it. John Hirschbeck is a pitcher's umpire. And cutter right on the edge.
Well, that's the other thing that really opens up the outside part of the plate. When you establish in with that 4-seamer and cutter, Jon Lester loves to go backdoor where the hitter gives up on that cutter away, the fastball away, and it comes back, gets that outside corner.
David Freese now the third baseman. First pitch to him, strike 1 over the inside. Freese had a disappointing regular season. He hit .262 with only 9 home runs, drove in just 60 runs. The 0-1 home. Check swing, and that's low on a curveball, 1-1.
You know, I absolutely love that first pitch at Lester. 4-seamer in on Freese where the arms go up like he thinks it's inside. It's a called strike. That plays an effect on a hitter. You think it's a ball in, it's still a strike.
He turns on the rubber, the 1-1. Waved at and missed. Now 1-2. Another cutter. That's a sharp pitch for John. Here in the first 2 innings, 3-0 Sox. Remember, Freese was named the MVP of the only other World Series he played in, 2011 against Texas. And he had a World Series for the ages individually, the 1-2. And in there, strike 3. Got him looking with another cutter. 89 miles an hour on the outside half. And he punches out the first 2 Cardinals here in the second inning.
Another backdoor cutter. And I go back to the very first pitch and what it does to a hitter mentally. You know, you think that ball is in, it's a called strike. All of a sudden now I'm not getting a good look on the heater in. I'm concerned he can get it in there. I have to start cheating a little bit looking in. He chases the cutter down and in, and then freezes on the cutter away. It's just perfect execution and sequence from Lester.
Here comes Matt Adams, the young first baseman, and the Red Sox will overshift 3 men on the right side of the infield, and the pitch is outside and low for ball 1. Adams at 6'3", 260. Left-hand hitter who starred at Slippery Rock University in Pennsylvania. And he's been a prize prospect for St. Louis. It's 17 home runs in less than 300 at-bats this year. Swinging a grounder, 1 hop. There's Pedroia on the right side to stab it. Throws on to first base and gets him. And that's a fast inning for Jon Lester. 2 Ks and a routine ground ball to the right side to get them 1-2-3. Red Sox in front 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. And we'll see if Lou's idea that for a major league player, you know, changing series, in this case ALCS to the World Series, is just like turning the page on the calendar from April to May. We'll see if that applies to Stephen Drew here. He could really use it to change.
Well, I also got to start throwing him the vibe. You know what I mean? I had this nice thing going with Stephen Drew when I was in here before.
Yeah.
He would have big night after big night. I got to just kind of throw it down to him right now.
Boy, he needs it. 3 for 35 in the postseason for Stephen, leading off against Wainwright in the pitch. That's in there for strike 1. We've had the Giant part of the order. Remember when Sox batters 3 through 6 homer. Giant Glass donates $200 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Massachusetts. Wainwright roughed up in the first inning. Here's the pitch. That's up and in for a ball. David Ross on deck. He's become Jon Lester's personal catcher in the postseason, and then Jacoby Ellsbury will be stepping in for the second time in this game. The 1-1 home. Swing, lash, foul, back out of play to make it 1-2.
You know, when you get like this, it's such a mindset. You're searching for something positive. You want to see a positive at bat. Even if you line out, you know, a draw or a walk. You saw what happened with Austin Jackson with that 4-pitch walk from Jake Peavy. Now, Peavy had a lot to do with it, but it sort of changed the series around. All of a sudden, he was a better offensive player. Just one at-bat sometimes can change it.
And no question in his case, added confidence. The 1-2 from the righty, and it's down into the dirt for a ball. Now, Drew is already scuffling mightily, as everybody knows, 1 for 20 in the American League Championship Series. 1 for 26 since Game 3 of the Division Series against Tampa Bay. And wouldn't you know, he's facing a pitcher in Wainwright he's 2 for 19 against. It's a 105 lifetime clip. Here's the 2-2. Swing, popped him up on the infield, around the pitcher's mount. Molina racing toward the pitcher, who's going to take it. It drops in between them. It dropped in between them on the grass, right at the feet of Wainwright, over the shoulder of Molina. Man, do the Cardinals look sloppy.
Such an easy play for the pitcher. Why do they back off?
Well, the problem here is that the minute it's up, Wainwright puts his hands up and says, I got it, and then looks to Molina, and then looks back up again and lets it drop. I mean, you call it, that's his ball. That's an easy catch for Wainwright. Absolutely, no question about it.
Well, he saw out of the corner of his eye Yadier Molina wearing all that gear, charging right out at him. And it fell in right at the feet of Wainwright, just about 5 feet in front of the pitcher's mound.
I almost feel like you have to give that a hit. Even though it should have been caught.
I know you're begging a bit, but I think you've got to rule that a base hit, don't you? Here's David Ross, and he takes one in there for a fastball strike at 92 miles an hour.
So we all know it should have been made, right? But we've seen guys lose ball in the sun. It drops. It's a hit.
They are going to call it a hit.
Now, that's something positive, right? It wasn't pretty, but I'm sure Stephen Drew will take it.
That'll get him going. It went about 50 feet, maybe.
Merloni's mojo, we'll call it. Here's the 0-1. Fastball inside. Hey, stay tuned for the daily Citgo Community Calendar update in the 3rd inning. The Citgo Fueling Good road trip traveling to locally owned stations across the country. We just might be coming to your town. Find out at fuelinggood.com. Everything breaking right for the Red Sox. Ahead 3-0, including pop-ups on the infield and umpires changing their mind. So the first base skipped over there, and Adams corralled it on the bounce. Back in safely Drew, and that was a poor throw.
That looks a little rattled right now, I think, after that first inning. And you come out and you execute the pitch, and the ball goes about, I don't know, 40 feet in front of home plate to pop up, and you can't get an out of it.
Ross was 2 for 4 in the American League Championship Series. Wainwright stops at the belt. Drew leading, not running. The pitch, curveball, that's in there for a strike. Remember, Ross took and delivered home plate collisions in Game 5. He's catching his 3rd consecutive Jon Lester start. Nobody out. Fortuitously, a runner at first base and Stephen Drew. Ross showed pretty good power when he connected this season. Here's the pitch. Swing and a shot. Lined into right center. Base hit. That'll drop down. Heading into second. Stopping there. Stephen Drew. That was another curveball that Wainwright did not put in the spot he wanted. And David Ross is aboard. And the Red Sox have back-to-back hits to start the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Boy, already a different field than what we saw, I think, in the last series from this Red Sox team. Offensively, you haven't seen Wainwright much, but it looks like they have a plan. They're staying up the middle of the field, and if David Ross didn't stay up the middle of the field in that curveball, it was down and away. He stayed on this ball and got enough of it to get over Carpenter.
So 2 on, nobody out for Jacoby Ellsbury. Els started the ball game of the Red Sox by taking ball 4, and he was on when Napoli scalded that line shot into the alley in left center to drive in 3 against Wainwright in the 1st inning. The pitch. Swinging a foul ball back behind the plate on the ground for strike 1. Northeast Electrical Distributors is New England's #1 source for electrical products and services, and invites contractors, industry, and facility managers to visit needco.com for a powerful online experience. Northeast Electrical Distributors at needco.com. Here comes pitch number 42 for Wainwright, and he has nobody out in the 2nd inning at Fenway. Victorino on deck. 2 on, and the 0-1. Swinging a high pop-up loop toward left shallow. Holiday coming in, long run, makes the catch. He stabs it. Runners retreating to 1st and 2nd. 1 man out, and Victorino will step in. Shane 0 for 1, although he hit the ball solidly to Holiday in left field. And he made the catch on a sinking liner in the 1st inning.
Yeah, well, Wainwright's already up to 42 pitches.
Yeah, I like not to let him off the hook here. You know, you got to take advantage of these opportunities. They did in the first inning. You had your 8-9-0 hitter leading off the inning with singles. Now you got the top of the order. I'd like to see another crooked number put up here.
Victorino again on the right side of the plate. Now exclusively a right-hand hitter. Here's the pitch. Shane takes outside for ball 1. I thought Victorino's comments in the aftermath of the Game 6 clincher, which he played such a vital role in, were very interesting. He said, there's no question, I was thinking about the fact I didn't get that bunt down earlier when I stepped in with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. And what am I going to say? Here's the 1-0. Curveball snapped in there for a strike and a count 1-1. And Lou, you do that, don't you? You will take an at-bat occasionally, a bad at-bat, even in a big game like that, into a deeper at-bat in the game.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to have the short-term memory, maybe overdo it. But he got the hanger, he put the great swing on it, and more importantly, did something with it.
A 1-1, fastball inside at the hands to make it 2-1.
Now, I look at this matchup here, and that curveball is something that Wainwright, I think, needs to live with against Victorino, because that cutter to me is a bad matchup. He dives over the middle of the plate. He can cover the outer half. He can still pull the ball, and it was the cutter that he laced to left field. I'd almost stick trying to get that fastball in and stay with this curveball.
Drew leading his second. Ross off of first. One man out. 3-0 Sox here in the bottom of the second inning. Looking for more now. A base hit should add to that lead. That was not the first grand slam that Shane ever hit in postseason play. He also got one with the Phillies in 08 in the division series against Milwaukee off CC Sabathia. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball, swing, chopper left side of the hole. Knocked down by the shortstop Cosma. He has no plays. He picks it up from his feet, and they're going to be all loaded up on an infield hit by Shane Victorino. The bases are going to be loaded for Dustin Pedroia. Second time in 2 innings the Red Sox have filled up the bases.
Very uncharacteristic from a sure-handed Cosma. I mean, he's not a great offensive player. He is out there for defensive reasons and is one of the exceptional defenders on his team other than Yadier Molina, and so far his glove really letting him down.
He should have had at least 1 out on that play. Wouldn't have had 2.
So bases are going to be all filled up as Petey will climb in. No place to put him. He has a base hit in this one. 1 for 1. Here's the set by the right-hander Wainwright, and the pitch. Outside, knocked to the right of the plate by Molina, but no advance. They will charge Cosmo with the error. So already the Cardinals have committed 2, and the official scorer has taken what would have been a 3rd error back.
Well, Pete Cosmo's played 139 games this year at shortstop, committed 9 errors all year long, and has 2 now with 1 out in the second.
And remember how the inning started. A pop-up that should have been caught falling at the feet of the pitcher harmlessly on the infield grass in front of the pitcher's mound. Amazing. The Cardinals are so slipshod. 1 out, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. That is high for a ball. David Ortiz watching from the on-deck area. Red Sox ahead 3-0, and could put a gigantic hurt on Wainwright and the Cardinals with another gapper. Petey only drove in 1 run in the American League Championship Series, although he did hit .273. Here's the 2-0. And a little bit high for ball 3. Great eye by Pedroia. 3-0. Bases jammed. Drew at third. Ross at second. Victorino at first. This will be the 50th pitch delivered by Wainwright. And he has 1 out in the second inning. Here's the 3-0 to Petey. He's taking all the way, and it's in there for a strike.
Oh, that's a tough call. Right? I don't know about you guys, but I was hoping Petey might let it fly. You know, you're going to see, right now that's a 91-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle, but it sticks with the approach. And maybe 3-1. Maybe you see the same pitch, but I'm not so sure when it comes to Wainwright.
Bases loaded up here in the bottom of the second inning. A hitter's count for Pedroia. The set by Wainwright. Here's the 3-1 home. Swinging a chopper foul off third base right through the coach's box area. And now full count on Dustin. Ortiz swinging a leaded bat in the on-deck area. The Cardinals look absolutely rattled. Pop-ups falling in. Tosses to second base. Dropped. Bobbles by the outfielders. Bobbles by the infielders. Kind of amazing to watch this team at 197. Here's the 3-2 to Petey. Swinging a ground ball left side. Throw for a base hit. Right to the shortstop hole. 1 run is in. Drew touches home. That reloads the bases. 4-0 Boston in the second inning. Dustin Pedroia is 2 for 2.
Well, Petey gets a 3-2 curveball. Stays on it enough, though, to get it through the hole. And again, not selling off on that fastball. Saw David Ross take a curveball up the middle, and now you see Dustin Pedroia 3-2 with that curveball. Stay on it enough to get it through the hole.
Mike Matheny now out of the dugout, the Cardinal manager and their former catcher, who is actually the Cardinal catcher the last time these two teams met in the World Series in 2004. He is out to the pitcher's mound. The bases are loaded for David Ortiz, who is very amiably chatting up the home plate umpire Jon Hirschbeck, waiting his turn.
And things breaking the Red Sox way. The single by Ross was just about an inch and a half over the glove of the second baseman, and this base hit found a seam between Freese and Cosma, and there wasn't much space there at all. It just did get through, but they're creating their own opportunities thanks to the miscues.
Ross moving to third on that base hit. Victorino to second. Pedroia at first.
I don't think Wainwright has been overly sharp here early on, but defensively they have let him down a little bit. And Mike Matheny is one pitch away from really this game getting away from him right now.
There's nobody throwing in their bullpen yet. As his number 1 pitcher on the mound tonight in World Series Game 1, and he's down 4-0 to the Red Sox. Still only 1 out as Ortiz gets in. And the pitch to David is outside. A breaking ball off the outside corner.
Well, they go with the same defensive alignment here. They have the shift on David Ortiz, but Cosma, the shortstop, on the right field side of second base. I just don't like it. I think it's unnatural for a shortstop to race to second to come back and make that throw, and we'll see if it hurts him again like it did in the first.
Wainwright with a 1-0 to Ortiz. Right down the chute, knee high at 93 for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And isn't the shortstop also vulnerable to a slide for injury?
Yeah, I just look as a shortstop that the ball's hit to my left. It's a natural reaction to go left. You got to fight that natural reaction to go to second base. It's not comfortable.
The 1-1 to Big Papi. Waved at and missed. Man, he took a swing. He came out of his shoes on that fastball. An elevated 93-mile-an-hour heater. It was about a letter high, and David just missed it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. With the bases loaded this season, David Ortiz is a .455 hitter. Just swung beneath that fastball. 1-2. Napoli on deck. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, deep right field. Backing up Beltran. He's all the way to the track at the wall. He leaps over and he made the catch. He leaned over and he took that one away. Tagging up at third, Ross. He is in to score. The Red Sox lead it 5-0. That was a home run. That was a grand slam. Beltran leaned out into the bullpen of the Cardinals and made a backhand catch. Made a spectacular play. The Red Sox get 1. And now lead it 5-0. That's out number 2.
What an unbelievable catch by Beltran. I don't know how you guys felt, but him going back there, you almost felt like you were watching Torrey Hunter go back to the bullpen. The only difference was the ball David hit was a line drive on Torrey and didn't have time to get back there and set up. Beltran does have a little bit more time to set up, catches this ball, and brings it all the way back.
Wow.
He didn't really charge back. I wonder if it carried further than he thought initially.
Peel play. The Cardinals throw over to third base to see if Ross left early, and the third base umpire says no. Paul Emmel will hold up the run. So it's 5-0. Red Sox in front. Papi does pick up 1 RBI, but everybody in the building thought he had 4. Again, Beltran robs him. And now Mike Napoli gets in with 2 down and runners at first and third. I'll tell you what, though, Wainwright's not fooling anybody. The pitch. That's a strike, a fastball in the inside corner.
No, he's really not. He's struggling getting that curveball over. He's struggling locating this cutter. Even his fastball falling behind a lot of accounts. And about to deliver his 58th pitch now here in the bottom of the second.
Boy, Poppy almost had another one, didn't he? Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, strike on the outside corner. And the count moves to 0-2 on Mike Napoli, who already has 3 RBIs tonight on a bases-loaded first-inning double. So the Sox have scored 2 more times here in the second inning. Although it looked like many more than that on another clout by Ortiz, stolen by Carlos Beltran. A pitch. Fastball inside at the chest. 1-2 the count.
You can just see a different comfort level from this Red Sox lineup already here a couple innings in. And you don't have the power that you saw against Detroit. The breaking ball, the off-speed stuff isn't getting over to keep them in between that fastball breaking ball like we saw so much last series. Look a lot more comfortable, a lot more belief in their swings than last series.
The 1-2, runner at first goes swinging a liner off the pitcher's glove. He picks it up at his feet and throws on to first base to retire the side. That was another hot shot right back up the middle. And Wainwright simply got in the way and knocked it down with the glove. Side retired, but the Red Sox add 2 more, and it could have been a lot worse than that for the Cardinals. And at the end of 2 in World Series Game 1, it's the Red Sox 5 and the Cardinals nothing. On to the third, and here with the play-by-play story, it's Joe Castiglione.
All right, thanks, Dave. First pitch to Shane Robinson is in there for a call strike. Robinson, center fielder, hit .250 in the regular season with 2 homers, has a pinch home run in the postseason off the Dodgers. He's a right-hand batter, and he swings and chops a foul to the left of the plate. And quickly, it's 0-2. Lester has 3 strikeouts already. 2 of the Red Sox runs are unearned. 1 of the runs earned, 1 unearned in the last of the second inning off Wainwright. And the 0-2 from Lester, and he swings and grounds a foul, pulling it to the third base dugout on a curveball.
Well, Johnny doing exactly what you want to see. You're up 5-0 after 2. He comes out just pounding the strike zone here on Robinson. Make these guys, they're going to sit back and try to take some pitches. You can't give them any free passes. Attack the strike zone now.
That's just on 25 pitches, 20 strikes, and he deals, and there's a weak ground ball, bounce to second, charged by Drew, throws from the infield grass and gets him. Robinson can run, one of their speedier players, but he's out easily at first base. And he's Pete Kozma, who's had a brutal start to this series with an error in the first inning and an error in the second inning, hitting .200 in the postseason. Hit .217 in the regular season with 1 homer. Yeah, the scorer could have easily called that ball an error that Drew hit. Probably should have.
No question. Yeah, there's no question. I mean, those are always the questionable hits, right? I'm sure Stephen Drew will take it. But
I mean, it wasn't the sun or
no,
the lights that caused the miscue. It was miscommunication. Ball 1. The error should have gone to Wainwright.
I know it's 5-0 early, and I don't know if it'll even come into play here. We'll see how the story goes. But Beltran did save his team 3 runs with that catch.
I wonder if the ball fooled him a little. He seemed to trail it. The 1-0 is in there for a call strike. I didn't think it was hit as well as it was or as well as it carried when it left the bat. Did you?
No, I really didn't. I think David, if he thought that he got it, might have sat back and enjoyed it a little bit more than he did. I don't think he thought he got it.
Well, he was sprinting out of the box. Yeah. He was running hard. The pitch, swing and a miss. You know he doesn't do that if he knows it's gone.
Exactly.
But he'll take the RBI. 1-2 the count. Beltran, of course, a great postseason player. Finally in a World Series after 45 postseason games and 16 homers. The 1-2 to Kozma is a fastball inside. So he's been a light-hitting shortstop. And there for his glove, but that has failed him tonight.
Yeah, you might not know. I mean, Red Sox fans watched the first 2 innings here with Pete Kozma, but this is a very good defensive shortstop. Just didn't look like it the first couple innings.
Here it is, and he swings. It's a weak pop-up, foul off first. Napoli backpedaling on the grass. Now comes back into fair territory to make the catch. Staggered a little bit as that ball came back toward the playing surface and ended up a fair ball, but an out.
They also took him out to right field a little bit. Now, I don't see any wind at all with the flags, but you wonder if something's going on here in the air.
Yeah, especially the way the Ortiz ball carried and the way this ball went from clearly a foul ball into fair territory. So Kozma, the shortstop out of Oklahoma, retired. 2 men down, and here's the leadoff hitter, Carpenter, who grounded to short his first time up. Carpenter had a great regular season. led the National League in hits with 199, in doubles with 55, and in runs scored. He takes a call strike, 126 runs, but now in the postseason, he is 7 for 43. It's around 160. Left-hand hitter out of Texas Christian, a guy who came on unexpectedly. The pitch is a breaking ball outside. He was not a high draft pick or considered a certain thing out of the draft.
You ask anybody that follows the Cardinals, and they'll say Matt Carpenter offensively is the key to getting him on base. That's when this offense really gets going. He struggled in the postseason so far.
13th round pick in 09. He swings, hits a weak rounder foul outside of first to the first base coaching box.
Big time table setter for them. Almost 200 hits, 199 hits. And really the guy that makes them go. When he gets on and scores, they usually win. He's had a devil of a time getting on base in the postseason.
You know, National League style, you get Cosma hitting 8th, the pitcher hitting 9th. It's up to this leadoff guy, and he's been great for them all year long.
He's behind 1-2. Here's the pitch, and he takes a breaking ball in there. Strike 3. A hard cutter, and down goes Carpenter, and down go the Cardinals. 4 strikeouts over the first 3 innings for Jon Lester after 2.5, 5-0 Red Sox on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. All right, here comes Johnny Gomes. And he swings and misses the first pitch of the last of the third. Gomes grounded to first, his first time up.
Well, things really going well for the Red Sox now. You think about it, you have 5 runs the first 2. Wainwright's up to 61 pitches. Beltran's out. Jay is in. And the great shortstop's made 2 errors.
It's almost eerie. The pitch. Swing. There's a long foul down the left side out of play. Ending up a little bit short of the Coca-Cola seat. So it's 0-2 to Gomes.
Not as dramatically, but hasn't pretty much everything gone right for the Red Sox in October?
The balls have found holes. They've taken advantage of miscues. They've been opportunistic.
Amazing.
Here's the 0-2. Swinging a high pop-up. First base side. Foul ground. Adams coming over on the track and makes the catch at the far end of the Red Sox dugout. Gomes fouls to first. Yeah, the injury could be more significant than if the ball had gone to the bullpen for a grand slam. Beltran is out for a while. The only thing we can tell, Lou, is he might have hit his ribs very hard against the wall.
Looks more like maybe that right shoulder. I don't know, that maybe got jammed into the wall, but he came up and delivered the throw with no wince, like you said. Didn't show any pain.
Beltran swings and misses. He struck out his first time up swinging. This week at Shaw's, pick up value-pack country-style pork ribs, now just 99 cents a pound. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the Red Sox Radio Network. Here's the 0-1, and it swung on a hard shot, caught by the shortstop. And throws to first for the out. He grabbed it on a hop, a skidding hop. So it's a 6-3 out. That was hit pretty well. Cosmo made a good play there, going to his left.
Tell you what, the bullpen fence at Fenway has been the 10th man.
Yeah.
It took out Torrey Hunter, and it's taken out Carlos Beltran. Amazing.
And the wall is padded there, but you know, he went back rather casually at first.
Yeah, he really did. He doesn't move like he once did, but even for him.
Stephen Drew takes a breaking ball for a strike. He was credited with an infielder when the pitcher let his pop-up drop, thinking Molina might take it. Wainwright clearly called and then let the ball fall, and it led to a 2-run rally in the second. The pitch to Stephen. Low and inside. They have a connection. Wainwright was actually signed by the Braves and was traded to the Cardinals in a deal involving J.D. Drew. One pitch. Swing. There's a line drive deep but foul, hooking down the right side out of play.
Did you hear J.D. on Salk and Holly the other day?
Very good.
Terrific interview. They could not get J.D. to shut up. He was talking and talking. And he was actually long-winded. And really good,
yeah.
too.
He was really good. Probably more than he felt like it was more than he said, right? As all these years there was here.
Career in Boston, yeah.
He was an articulate guy, very nice guy. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Waved at a backdoor breaking ball to retire the side. 1-2-3 go the Red Sox. for the first time. And after 3, it is 5-0 Boston on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Well, here's John Jay hitting in Beltran's spot. Beltran struck out. And so far, his only World Series plate appearance of his career. Left-hand batter against a left-hand pitcher. And it's taken away, ball 1. Jay hitting just .206 in the postseason. No homers, 3 RBIs. And he's been struggling of late. The 1-0, swing and a miss late on that one. 92-mile-an-hour heater down and away.
When you take out one of the most clutch postseason performers in a guy like Carlos Beltran, even though he hasn't been in the World Series before, replacing with Jay, that's a big drop-off.
And the pitch is foul to the left out of play. Late on that one, up and in on him.
Johnny's done a great job. Everything you've asked at this point, continues to pound the strike zone, up 5-0. He's really got that cutter going to the first base side of the plate. He just froze Carpenter on the front door cutter. More of a backdoor cutter to the right. He's freezing Molina.
Here's 1-2. And he takes just off the plate with a cutter down and away. Jay out of Miami, 28 years old. Here's the 2-2. And he takes a little low and inside, missed with a cutter. So it's a full count to the left-hand batter.
Tried to go right back to the well there. The cutter in, and he froze Carpenter the previous at-bat.
Jon Lester with a 3-2 pitch upcoming. Here it is. And it's swung on foul to the left out of play. Lexus. Some things are designed to draw crowds. Others designed to leave them behind. The new Lexus IS. It's your move.
Looks like Carlos Beltran left the game with a right rib contusion.
Banging into the right field wall. Here's the 3-2. And a little bit low, ball 4. So Lester was ahead 1-2, winds up walking Jay, just their second base runner, but a leadoff man aboard here in the 4th inning.
I bet he gets a text from Torrey Hunter after the game, comparing notes.
You're better off just diving over it.
Yeah, just clear it if you can.
Hit your head, not your ribs. You can still play. All right, here comes Matt Holliday, who has their only hit, a ground ball single up the middle. Holliday had 22 home runs in the regular season, has 2 in the postseason. Lester delivers the pitch, swinging a high ground ball, pull foul past the third base coach, Jose Oquendo.
Very highly thought of coach.
14 years as a third base coach here.
They think the world of him among their staff. He was a terrific defensive player, too. He was a heck of a player for the Cardinals.
One of the interesting things came out of that J.D. Drew interview was Jose Oquendo. Stephen Drew worked with him an awful lot at shortstop as a young kid.
The 0-1 is low and inside, 1-1, and he was the third base coach when Suppan had that base running blunder in the 2004 World Series. Suppan thinking he said no, no, no when he was saying go, 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 and Suppan went back to third in the key spot. The Cardinals didn't score in a first and third nobody out situation.
Red Sox fans have heard a story like that before.
Yeah, with Don Zimmer, Denny Doyle. Zimmer was the coach. The 1-1 pitch. And he takes a cutter low and inside. 2-1. You heard our pregame show. John Farrell was recalling how he babysat for Matt Holliday when he was 3 or 4 years old in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Fascinating part of it, he was a 6-foot baby.
Yeah.
6'4", 250. He's the strongest man in the world, this guy.
Well, John's a big guy.
He
the
is.
Pitch is swung and bounced foul outside of first. Close, but foul. Nice stab by the ball attendant. John was recruited by Matt's father, who was a pitching coach at Oklahoma State. And then he became a head coach and hired John later after his pitching career as the pitching coach at Oklahoma State. And Matt was a quarterback in high school then. And now his dad is at North Carolina State as an associate head coach. And today, John's son Shane went to North Carolina State to scout. He scouts for the Cubs. So he's seeing his old friend. The 2-2. And I think time was called.
Yeah,
it
no
was.
pitch. Yep.
No pitch. It would have been a borderline call. David Ross seems like he agrees. Holiday was granted time. Well, you usually see it that late.
That was late. That was too late. I'm not sure you give it to him there. Where it ended up, though, would have been a fastball, would have been a ball in anyway.
So it would have been ball 3. Instead, it's still 2-2. Jay at first, nobody out. Here in the 4th inning, the Red Sox with a 5-0 lead. Now Holiday again steps out, granted time. Holiday led the National League. He grounded into 31 double plays this year. Red Sox would love to have him do it right here again. Here comes the 2-2, and he fouls it to the backstop. Not a great swing at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball up and away. Very defensive swing. Holiday, of course, was in the 07 World Series. He went 4 for 4 in Game 2. In a 2-1 Red Sox game, but he was the GOAT of that game because Jonathan Papelbon picked him off first. And he was representing the tying run in the 8th inning to pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased an off-speed pitch away, and down he goes. A weak wave at a curveball. Oh, that was an ugly swing.
He came at him with all power stuff, all fastballs early in the count. I think showed him the first curveball he saw here, and had Holiday way out in front of this curveball.
He was lunging. 5 strikeouts for Lester. And here's Alan Craig, who got fisted and popped weakly to second his first time up. His first action in the big league since September 4th when he went down with a sprained foot. 1 on, 1 out. And the pitch to Craig is in there for a call strike. Power hitting first baseman.
Well, this guy is not easy to do over 162 games. He didn't play in that many because he got hurt at the end, but he drove in 97 runs. He only hit 13 home runs.
They didn't hit many home runs, 125, which was 3rd from the bottom in the National League. Lester sets up by his chin and delivers the pitch inside, so they don't steal bases and they don't hit a lot of home runs.
What they do is hit with runners in scoring position, and that's what Alan Craig did better than most to ever play this game other than George Brett and Tony Gwynn. 454 he hit this year with runners in scoring position. That's the 3rd best all time for a regular season. Absolutely unbelievable.
It's insane, really is.
And they hit 330 as a team. The pitch. And that one misses down and in through a hard cutter. He's done a lot of cutters here. 2-1 the count.
So he hit 140 points higher than his season average with a man in scoring position.
You look up and down this lineup. I mean, they got 5 guys. Yadier Molina, 373. Okay, he was 5th on this team with runners in scoring position. So, 373, 389, I believe, from Holiday. Beltran was up there. Carpenter was up there. And, of course, this guy leading them all at 454.
Here's the 2-1, and it swung on a broken bat foul off his foot. The bat goes flying into left field. Xander Bogaerts wasn't sure where it was. It went ducking and over toward the foul line. It ended up between the third baseman and the shortstop in his shallow left. That hit him literally on the hands. Well, not quite on the hands, but just above the hands. Maybe 2 inches from his top hand. The bat just shattered.
You see bats like that, that's when you know Johnny Lester's got a pretty good cutter going.
That had to really sting.
He was left with a piece of kindling in his hand.
And then he hit it off his foot, too. I believe it was off the foot he sprained, the left foot. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on, 5-0 Red Sox in the 4th. Craig out of Cal Berkeley. Red Sox baseball brought to you by Sports Authority, your headquarters for officially licensed Red Sox jerseys, caps, and tees. The 2-2 pitch of the right-hand hitter. Here it is. And he swings and grounds a weak foul outside of third, grabbed by Bogaerts. Lester's pitch count at 53, 37 for strikes. Cardinals led the National League in runs scored. They were 2nd in hitting, 269 overall, 5th in pitching. And, of course, they led in victories with 97, the same number the Red Sox had.
As we mentioned, they did it with hitting the scoring position. They don't really hit the ball at the ballpark all that much for a team that scores that many runs. But one of the run producers Beltran is out of the game already.
2-2, grounded toward the middle. Drew dives, comes up short. It goes into center field, a base hit into the Boston Strong logo. Ellsbury picks it up, and they hold Jay at second base. Stephen came close, couldn't quite reach it. So there's the second hit, and it brings up Yadier Molina. So here he is with men in scoring position, which he liked. Struck out looking his first time up. Some of that, Lou, may be bearing down more with men in scoring position, but some of it is just the statistical aberration, you would think.
Well, that's the thing.
Might even out.
It can come and go. You know, you runners in scoring position. Oftentimes when a team loses the game, you look up 2 for 11. You missed opportunities. So it can come and go, but for this team, it seemed like it was there all year long. Remarkable.
Yeah, came and stayed.
2 on, 1 out. Lester delivers, and Yadier swings, grounds it toward the shortstop, but through into left field, a base hit. And the bases are loaded as Jay stops at third. Well, he hooked that one, and Steven went to his right. Couldn't quite get there. The bases are loaded for David Freese, who was certainly Mr. Clutch in 2011, the NLCS MVP and the World Series MVP. So now they have a bases-loaded situation, and they hit .370 with 4 grand slams in the regular season as a team. Freese struck out looking his first time up. Johnny Gomes charged. There was no way they could have sent Jay. So Jay at third, Craig at second, Molina at first for the right-hand batting Freese. A power threat, the pitch. And he takes a cutter low and inside, ball 1.
Well, he really overpowered Freese with fastballs in and kind of got in his kitchen a little bit before he froze him with that backdoor cutter. Now you got the bases loaded. And the Cardinals have been somewhat aggressive, jumping on him his first couple pitches here early on. Be a little careful with that first pitch.
Leadoff walk started this jam. The pitch, swinging a foul to the backstop, came up with high heat away at 94. Red Sox baseball brought to you by Samuel Adams. Samuel Adams, for the love of beer. Freese is a St. Louis area product, played high school ball in the area. They got him from San Diego in a trade when he was a minor leaguer. The pitch. And he takes low and inside by his back foot. So it's 2-1. Lester in his first jam. 3 on and only 1 out. Jay, Craig, and Molina lead away. Lester's 2-1. Here it is, and David Freese swings and grounds it to the pitcher. Stabbed by Lester to the plate, out on to first. Double play. 1, 2, 3. John thought about throwing to second. Fortunately, he looked at home because he's had trouble throwing to second base. But they get a 1-2-3 twin killing, and just like that, the threat is over after 3.5. Still 5-0 Red Sox on the Shaws, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Well, the Cardinals had a bases loaded 1-out situation, but Freese grounded into a 1-2-3 double play. And so it's still 5-0 Red Sox as we go to the last half of the 4th inning. Pitch is swung on foul to the backstop by David Ross, strike 1. Ross poked a single to right center and a curveball to help set up a 2-run rally in the second. Yes, John and Wally were very close. Both live in Youngstown, Ohio. In fact, we got together with them a couple of times during the Christmas holidays. And Wally really will be missed. Breaking ball in there for a call strike.
I let him know the gesture that Jake Peavy had in Game 4, donating $500 for every strikeout, not only to the Jimmy Fund, but the American Heart Association in the name of Wally Bell. I was trying to get a wider zone for Game 4. I don't know. Might have been something behind it.
Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. A chase one away. Short hop by Molina, who steps out and throws him out at first base. Third strikeout. Ross, Lou, you're saying, did a very good job on that ground ball to Lester. Unfortunately, Lester changed his mind about throwing to second and threw home.
I think Lester's smart play. I think, he came and got that. It was a chopper right back to him, but he kind of gained momentum to home to make a nice, easy throw. We know he struggles. But Dave Ross comes up and doesn't rush. He realizes he has time, kind of sets his feet, double pumps a little bit, settles himself, and delivers a strong throw to first. You rush that play, you throw that ball away and give away a couple of runs, but he did a nice job of selling it down.
So one down for Ellsbury, who walked and scored to open the first, then hit a fly ball to left in the second, and he fouls it to the backstop. Always a good sign when your leadoff hitter's batting for the third time, and we're only in the fourth inning.
That.
Umpires wearing the WB Wally Bell's initials on their jersey sleeve above their number.
You know, if you really want to get greedy, you want to get Wainwright out of this game. There's some good arms down the bullpen. It's nice to get a look at them. Some of these hitters to get a look at them as the series goes on.
0-1. Swing. There's a drive foul down the right side out of play. Well past the pesky pole. He turned on that one. I think he may have broken his bat.
Nice to get a look at them when you're up 5.
And then that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of guys they use. They're deep down there. We talk about the depth. They have 5-6 guys that Mike Matheny trusts. So if you can get each of these hitters in the Red Sox lineup can get your first look at them here in Game 1, it helps in Game 2 or Game 3 or Game 4. At least you've got something to go by.
Every hitter wants a book. They want their own book on a guy. Good chance to do it. On the other hand, if Wainwright has to work 6 or 7 innings, that wouldn't be the worst thing either.
The 0-2 is a breaking ball, low 1-2. That was pitch number 75 for the 6'7" righty from Brunswick, Georgia. Our Geico text question, give us your World Series predictions. 37937 the text. Brought to you by Geico, where you can save on car insurance at 1-800-947-AUTO at geico.com or at a Geico office. A ball and 2 strikes to Ellsbury. And the pitch. And he takes a strike over the outside corner. Backdoor curveball got him looking. 4 strikeouts for Wainwright. 2 down for Shane Victorino, a line to left, and then hit a bouncing ball to the right of the shortstop. Cosma had it in his glove, and it popped out. He was charged with his second error at as many innings. In Game 1 of the 2004 World Series, the Cardinals made 1 error by Edgar Renteria. The Red Sox made 4. Manny made 2 errors in 1 inning. Arroyo made 1 and Millar made 1. The Red Sox won that game 11-9 after twice blowing leads on a home run off the foul pole hit by Mark Bellhorn. Victorino takes it low and away, ball 1.
When it came to Manny, it was all about driving in more runs than you gave up. Even though he wasn't bad, but still, drive in more than you give up.
Here comes the 1-0, and Shane takes a strike. Sinking fastball down and into 90. 1-1 to Wainwright. Red Sox on top, 5-0 in the fourth. They got 3 in the first and 2 in the second, and Cardinal miscues figuring largely in both. The pitch. That's low and away. Missed with a cutter. 2-1. Well, it's so interesting to see that call overturned on a force at second. It would be Forrest when Cosma dropped the ball.
So refreshing.
We'll see more of that next year with replay. But give the umpires credit. They got it right. The 2-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. And Victorino winces. He thought it was inside. Now he walks away.
Well, that's right. I mean, Joe, we're talking about the umpires having done the right thing, overturning the wrong call. We're not blasting the umpires for stubbornness and sticking with messing it up. And for all the right reasons, we're talking about the call now several innings later.
And you're looking at a 3-0 game as opposed to 5-0.
Right.
If they didn't correct that call.
And if Matheny hadn't seen the replay, he'll has to admit it, I would think. He may be still upset that they changed the call because it's rather unprecedented in a situation like that. Shane was not very happy with that last strike call.
He's still barking.
Breaking ball that probably was inside. The 2-2. And he swings it to high fly ball, shallow center field. Jay coming in. He's there toward right center, and he retires the side. That's 8 in a row set down by Wainwright, but not after he allowed 5 runs through 4. 5-0 Red Sox in the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Matt Adams will lead things off. Rather beefy first baseman. Lefty hitter in the pitch. That's in there for strike 1 on Adams. We mentioned this earlier. He's the prized prospect for the Cardinals. Named to their 2011 minor league all-star teams. He was their player of the year at the minor league level. Here's the 0-1. And it's down and away, 1-1.
I was going to say, we've seen some beef over there at first base recently going up against the Sox. He's a big boy, this kid.
He's a little taller than Prince.
Yeah, he is.
Prince Fielder, yeah.
Spread out a little bit more.
Maybe a better base runner. Boy, did Prince have a rough series. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Waved at, foul tipped into the mitt. on a cutter, which has been an excellent pitch for Jon Lester. Not just tonight, but tonight in particular.
Yeah, it really has, and I think it's played off of the power fastball. He's shown that he can throw into these hitters, which has made that even more effective.
Sox pull a 3-man shift to the right. The pitch. Swing line to left field. Sinking. Oncoming on diving. Gomes. He makes the play. A backhand dive straight ahead to snare that before it touched the grass. That was a slicing, sinking line drive. It was an outstanding play by Johnny to close the gap on that.
Yeah, it really was. And that ball was sinking away from him fast, and I was afraid that once he committed to dive, that this ball would continue to move on him. But he actually dove out to the right and got enough glove on this. I mean, Johnny Gomes has played a really good left field. Sometimes it's not pretty, but it ends up in his glove.
He's done a great job all year defensively.
He really has.
That ball was never very high in the air, making it all that much more difficult.
Timing on his leaps is exceptional. Here's Shane Robinson. Righty batter, and the first one is outside for ball one. The road ahead is brought to you by the Maine Office of Tourism, and the Red Sox are home again for Game 2 of the World Series tomorrow night here at Fenway Park. First pitch 8:07. John Lackey will throw it. Swinging a line drive, base hit past the third baseman through the shortstop hole into left field. And a solid single for Robinson, who is 1 for 2. He grounded to short his first time up. And Lack will be opposed by Michael Wacha, the youngster who has had an amazing postseason run, 3-0 with a 0.43. He's been sensational whenever they've needed him to be to get to this World Series. They begin your holiday shopping for heirloom quality items featured by contemporary practitioners at the 17th Annual Craft Show at the Maine State Museum, November 2 and 3. For more event details, visit Maine.com. Sox up 5-0 in the fifth. Lester will work from the stretch. And taking on the 9-hitter, the shortstop Pete Kozma, who's had a challenging night defensively. Takes the first one down low, ball one. And he's 0 for 1 with a pop to first so far. Kozma, a rookie. He homered in his second game of the season this year and has not homered since, until the postseason when he got one. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly, lofted to right, very shallow. Victorino's in. He was playing it anyway. Bit to his right, and he makes the catch. There are 2 down.
Well, I know how he feels, Obi. Sometimes, you get that first home run, you want it to remain special, so you don't exactly want to hit another one for a while.
You want to preserve it?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
I was there. I was there.
Jose Rosado was too.
Exactly. That's it. That's it for the year. Just remembering that one. It's special.
Did you hit another that year?
No, I did not, and that's what I'm talking about. They thought I was a power hitter my first game. Look at this kid.
First game at Fenway.
Anybody can hit 30. Anyone can do that because then they all look alike. But that one, boy, you keep rolling that over.
That's it.
It never loses its freshness. Here's Matt Carpenter, lefty batter 0 for 2, and he takes a soft breaking ball in there for strike one.
You have a video?
Oh, yeah. I constantly run it, actually, at my house.
It's on a loop.
It's on a loop,
It's on a loop.
I hope you have my audio call.
Special TV, of course. Special TV, it's a constant loop.
It was exciting. Local kid, first at bat at Fenway, just like Tony C.
For both of you guys.
Sure was.
Runner at first base, 2 down. The pitch on the way to Carpenter. Check swinging, it's outside. Hey, this week at Shaw's, make sure you pick up Chobani 6-ounce Greek yogurt. Only 10 for $10. Shaw's is the official supermarket of the Red Sox radio network.
Kevin Segris doing some stretching out there, trying to get loose. He may warm soon for the Cardinals.
Carpenter hitting just 167 in the postseason. 0 for 2 tonight. The pitch. Swing fouled back. He took a mighty cut on a fastball. He did hit 11 home runs during the season.
Johnny's really been in control here so far in this inning. I know he got in some trouble last inning. He's given up some hits here recently, but you're up 5-0. I would rather see him attack the strike zone, pound the strike zone, rather than nibble and pitch around some guys and draw some walks. It's given up a few hits here, but everything has been singles. I like the way he's attacking these hitters.
4 hits so far. He's also struck out 4. Man at first, 2 down. A set. And a big left-hander delivers. And it's outside. Fastball off the edge to make it 2-2. Carpenter made the National League All-Star team this year. Led the majors in runs scored with 126. Also led the majors with 199 hits and 55 doubles. But he's had a quiet playoff run to this point. Red Sox up 5-0 in the fifth. Robinson at first, the pitch, swinging a little looping liner toward left, coming on. Gomes is going to have to play it on a bounce. He knocks it down with a backhand step. Now the runner will take off between second and third. The throw to third, not in time. And the other runner, Carpenter's into second base. So Gomes will be charged with an error. A looping line drive base hit. Johnny pulled up on it. He overran it a bit, moving to his right toward the stands where they rise up down there in the corner. And he kind of tried to stab at it backhand style. It went in and out of the glove. That allowed the runner Robinson, who had stopped at second base, to advance to third. And also for Carpenter to move up an extra 90. So that puts runners at second and third with 2 down.
Yeah, I'm sure if Johnny had this over again, once you bobble it, go to second base. You know, Carpenter wasn't going to advance. He was going to stay on first. You got a first and third situation with 2 outs. Now you've got a couple of guys in scoring position here for Jay.
Now you get a chance for the Cardinals to try and climb back in this game. Jay took a walk in the fourth inning. Here's the pitch from Lester. That's outside for ball 1. He came on for Carlos Beltran, who had to be removed from the game with contused ribs, his right rib cage. Now Ross will come out for a quick consult with Lester.
Yeah, I like that trip right there from David Ross. You get a misplay behind you. You're in control of this game. All of a sudden now it's second and third again. Guys in scoring position. You got a little bit of reprieve here with Jay in there instead of Beltran, but you walked him last at bat. Get back to the game plan against Jay.
Jay just 206 for the postseason. No homers. A lefty batter. Here's the kick in the 1-0. And in there for a called strike over the inside part of the plate with a cut fastball. Lester now up to 74 pitches, 50 for strikes. 5-0 Sox. The hits are even at 5. Here's the 1-1. Swing, foul ball, knocked back into the stands. Off to the left and behind the plate. So the count moves to 1-2. That was a good fastball at 95. That last pitch.
This is what we saw from Johnny earlier in the year, right? A little bit of falling apart, maybe not getting the call, the play behind him. This has been the difference, and that's why I really like that trip from Ross to go out there and just settle him down a little bit, and let's start attacking this hitter.
Trying to preserve his shutout bid here in World Series Game 1. He stretches. And the 1-2. It's outside with a bender. He would not chase the breaking ball. Lester has really been tremendous at home. 8-2 at Fenway in 15 starts this season between the regular season and the postseason, with an ERA of 2.93. He pauses again. They lead at second and third in the pitch. Swing fouled back. That was elevated. That was a cutter up. And he fought that one off to hang in there.
That was the cutter that side of the plate that was so effective for him early on that he froze Freese and Molina away to righties, and then he froze Carpenter that one time looking in. He tried to go back in there 2-2 and just elevated, didn't get it in there enough.
Hit only .220 against lefties this year.
A strikeout would be big here, wouldn't it, with Holiday on deck? Runners at second and third. Here's the 2-2 home. Swing and a chopper up the middle, softly hit. Drew charges, cuts it off in front of second, throws and gets him at first base to retire the side. Kind of a spongy chopper over the top of the mound. Drew made it look easy. 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the fifth in World Series Game 1. All Red Sox, Boston 5 and the Cardinals nothing. Dustin Pedroia will climb in. Wainwright remains on the bump here. They don't have anybody throwing in their bullpen. Here's the pitch. And Petey takes up high ball 1. He has singled twice. Last time he drove in a run, he's also scored once. So 2 for 2. Ortiz on deck, and then Napoli in the last half of the fifth inning. Cool night at Fenway, but dry. Here comes the 1-0 from the right-hander. And that's low. 2 balls and no strikes.
I have to get back on Wainwright here. You know, the last couple of innings, Lester's gotten out of some jams. You've seen this team, they'll scrap and claw, and they're 1 hit away from making this a 5-2, 5-3 game the last couple innings.
Here's the kick in the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a liner. Loop toward right field near the line near the pesky pole on the run. Robinson lunges and makes the catch. What a fine play. And then banged up against the sidewall. He had already gone beyond the pesky pole and he had to snatch that by lunging. Made the catch just before he went crashing into the fence.
That was a really nice play by Robinson. Right before he gets the wall, he throws the glove out there. Simultaneously, he makes the catch and hits the wall. For a guy, that's a tough right field to play. Anybody will tell you. He's been planning to play center field all day long, not necessarily right.
That is the second time that a Cardinal right fielder has made an outstanding play. The first time, Beltran went up against the bullpen wall, and he took away a grand slam from David Ortiz, who went over the wall and made a backhand catch of it. Breaking ball in there for strike on Big Papi. By the way, Bob Lobel has been reporting that Beltran was taken to Mass General Hospital.
And that's now confirmed.
And that has now been confirmed. He is in significant pain. The 0-1 swing, chop foul off to the right into the Red Sox dugout by Big Papi. David has hit into a fielder's choice. There was also an error charged on that play. That was that first inning controversial drop by Cosma at second base. Originally ruled it out, and then the umpires gathered and overturned it. They got the call right in the end. And David had the grand slam taken away, but he did get a sacrifice and an RBI. Pitched down into the dirt. Now to count 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Cardinals have officially been charged with 2 errors. They could have been charged with 2 more. Mike Napoli on deck. Mike had the key hit in the first inning. The bases loaded 3-run double. 1-2. The pitch coming to Papi. Swinging a soft liner looped into center field. Base hit. Right into the Be Strong logo. Red Sox are really taking aim at that tonight. Like they have a contest amongst themselves how many you can land in the middle of that logo.
Well, I absolutely love that approach. I always feel you got to stay in the middle of the field. And with a guy like Carpenter for righties, he can throw that cutter, sometimes even more than the fastball. You can't pull off the cutter. You stay in the middle of the field. I think you're always going to have success, and they've done a nice job with that tonight.
Ortiz on the backswing hit Molina in the head. And as he was running to first, he turned around to see if he was okay and said something to him. But fortunately for Molina, he wears a helmet with a hockey mask that protected him.
Here's Mike Napoli now. Mike with the 3 RBI double. He's also grounded back to the pitcher. First one on the way. Swung on, popped up. That'll go foul back out of play to our right. Well, Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Herb Chambers Honda. With locations in Boston, Burlington, Seekonk, and Westboro. We've got it at herbchambers.com. Napoli off to the races with a 3 RBI hit in the first inning. Coming off the 2 massive home runs in the ALCS, which were so huge. The pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. That's 90 pitches now for Wainwright. 58 strikes. Red Sox 5, Cardinals nothing in the bottom of the 5th of game 1 at Fenway. A very happy gathering here at 4 Yawkey Way at the moment. Ortiz leading at first. Wainwright delivers. Waved at and missed. When Mike took a massive swing on a 77-mile-an-hour curveball.
He doesn't get cheated, that's for sure.
Seth Manis, a right-hander, is throwing in the bullpen now for St. Louis. This may be the last inning for Adam Wainwright. 1-2 on Knapp. And the pitch. Swing, little chopper foul off to the left. Looked like he made contact twice on that little bounder. Let's pause here 10 seconds for station ID on the Shaws WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Hey, it's Lou. Tune in tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. as we break down Game 1 of the World Series. We'll talk to Kevin Millar and Aaron Boone. This is WEEI 93.7 FM, Lawrence, Boston.
Napoli swings the right foot in. Now the left. Man who has not shaved since the middle of spring training. A 1-2 pitch. Just inside for a ball. Mike says he dutifully shampoos that beard every morning. There's a team actually that helps him with that.
Yeah, he might need a few people to help him with that.
Probably need a hair dryer too, don't you? Make it dry.
I would think. 1 out. Papi at first base. Here's the 2-2 from Wainwright. Swing, little nubber to the right of the mound, fielded by the pitcher. He'll sling it on to second. Got the out there, back to first, safe. Mike Napoli beats the wrap. So no double play. Ortiz erased in the middle on a fielder's choice, which goes 1-6. So 2 down, and Gomes, another of the Red Sox bearded heroes, about to step in. Hey, follow every pitch this postseason live with MLB.com at bat. It's the #1 mobile app for live baseball, or simply visit RedSox.com for details.
Wainwright's done a really nice job actually settling into this game. I mean, he's given up 5 runs, 3 of them earned. I don't think he was sharp at all early on, but his defense certainly didn't help him. The last 3 innings now, giving his team a little bit of length, give some extra innings here before they get to the bullpen.
First one to Gomes. Swing, ground ball, hard hit to short. Backing up for it, Cosma throws into second base, gets the force on Napoli, and that retires the side. So the Red Sox do not score here in the 5th through 5. In World Series Game 1, it's the Red Sox 5 and the Cardinals nothing on the Shaws WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Tonight, Holiday grounded a single to center and struck out on a 3-2 curve, and he swings and hits one in the air to shallow right, slicing. Here goes Victorino to make the catch. Did not hit it very well, and the leadoff man is retired in the 6th inning. Here's Alan Craig, who popped to second and single to left.
Holiday really hasn't waited around, has he? He's going after that first pitch each and every time. Very aggressive.
Cardinals 1 for 3 with men in scoring position, but that hit did not lead to a run. It was a single to left with a runner at second, and that loaded the bases, but Freese grounded into a double play. The pitch to Craig is a little low, ball 1. Craig's first game since the 4th of September when he strained his foot, running out an infield grounder, and he almost collided with the umpire, hit the bag hard and went down. The pitch low and away. Lester has walked just 1, fanned 5. His pitch count at 81. Craig, of course, did not play in either of the first 2 series, the division series or the championship series. He fouls this one to the right out of play.
As we said before the game, Alan Craig, one thing that will help him, very, very simple, quiet approach at the plate. Very small stride. There's not that too much of rhythm or timing in his swing. And I think he's looked pretty good here the first couple of at-bats, and it'll be a challenge because I just don't think he can play the field once they get to St. Louis.
Here's the pitch, and Craig takes a strike right down the middle. 2-2. He hit 3 home runs, Cardinals, against the Rangers in the 2011 World Series. 300 hitter for his career entering this year. He hit 315. 2-2. Swings, line foul behind the first base dugout, out of play. Red Sox 5 and the Cardinals nothing. 3 runs in the first for the Red Sox and 2 in the second. 2 of them scored unearned. Could have been more than that, as they were charged with 2 errors and could have been charged with 2 more. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's in there, strike 3. We caught him looking at a cutter that hit the outside corner. Boy, he's had a great cutter on the outside, backing over the outside edge to right-hand hitters.
Boy, this pitch has really been good for Johnny tonight. He's looking at 4 strikeouts looking, and every single one has been on the same pitch. It's been on that cutter to that side of the plate.
He dotted that. That was exactly where Ross put the mitt, and it was the center of the mitt.
Matt Damon, a great Red Sox fan, is here in the front row. The pitch is away, ball 1 to Molina, who has singled to left field last time up to load the bases after he struck out looking his first trip.
Oddly, Matt got a good seat.
How'd that work? Swing and a miss. 1-1. He's a true Red Sox fan, though, not just one of those October fans.
Well, Kevin Millar gave him those seats. Aren't those usually Kevin's down there?
They often are.
See him sneak down there in the front row.
Cowboy up, Matt.
1-1, swing and a miss. Ooh, he reached back for a little extra, threw a fastball by Molina.
That fastball at 94 miles an hour, the 88th pitch for Jon Lester, just kind of shows you how strong he is here tonight.
He's ahead 1-2. Lester kicks and deals, and it's outside. Jon making his second World Series start. He pitched 5 2/3 shutout innings in the clincher in 07. Great story as he came back late in that season in his battle with cancer. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a drive down the right field line, slicing foul past the pesky pole.
All right, so Millar is very close to where Matt Damon is seated. He's like 5 seats away. But you know who's right behind him is Kenny Chesney. That's who Millar's hanging with.
Well, that's Millar's boy. And if I'm Kevin Millar wearing that pink shirt that he's wearing right now, I'd be putting a coat on. I'd be a little bit embarrassed, and I may have to ask him tomorrow on the show when we have him on what exactly he was thinking. I'm not quite sure.
Got a pattern on it, too. The pitch. Swing, a little pop-up. First baseman is there. Napoli has it for the out. He threw him a curveball. He was way out in front. A weak pop-up, and Lester with a very easy sixth after 5.5. 5-0 Red Sox on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. All right, here's Xander Bogaerts, who struck out and then lined to short. Oxford delivers, and the pitch is over the outside edge. A call strike.
Well, I like getting in the pen here now in the 6th. Again, minimum of 3 innings. Hopefully you don't see a 4th, but 3 innings, maybe see 3 separate relievers, and get your own personal book on these guys as the series goes on.
Low and away. He short hopped that one down and away. In the first 2 series, Oxford went 3 1/3 innings in 4 games, allowed 1 run in 3 1/3, 3 walks, 4 Ks.
Looks like a lot of guys in the bullpen. 96, 97, power arms.
He deals and bounces that one about 3 feet in front of home plate. Overthrew a curveball. 2-1 to Xander. So Wainwright, their starter, on the hook. Threw 95 pitches in 5 innings, 62 strikes. The defense crushed him, but he really wasn't sharp, and the pitch count pretty indicative of that.
No, he really wasn't. I don't think his location was very good, and his cutter couldn't get his curveball early.
Xander swings and misses, chased an outside fastball at 95. Drew to follow, and then Ross. Here's the set and the pitch, and Xander takes it high and away, missed with a high heater, so he's run another count full. That was 96 on the radar gun. Red Sox with a 5-0 lead. They have 6 hits to 5 for the Cardinals. And the 3-2, Xander takes a strike pretty much down the middle. 96-mile-an-hour heater at the knees, and he goes down looking.
Yeah, this ball, outer half, Axford, 96 down at the knees. Not an easy pitch by any means, but if you're Xander, I don't know, just kind of feeling what you felt maybe in that last series, like maybe looking breaking ball. I don't know what it was, but that was right there.
Looked like a hittable pitch. Here's Stephen Drew. Officially 1 for 2. He fouls it to the left. He got a gift hit when the pitcher Wainwright did not catch his pop-up. Looking at Molina, the catcher, after Wainwright called for it, and that opened the gates for a 2-run second. Last time up, he struck out. But again, he's played strong defense. Home half of the 6th, 5-0 Red Sox. Here's the pitch, and Drew takes a strike. Back that sinking fastball over the inside edge. A Geico text question. Give us your World Series predictions. 37937. Brought to you by Geico. You can save on car insurance at 800-947-AUTO or online at geico.com. Axford from Ontario. Simcoe, Ontario was where he was born. And the pitch is a low inside breaking ball.
sure Cardinal fans right now keeping an eye on what the story is with Carlos Beltran, who had X-rays on those ribs. It's a big impact to this series.
Sure is. They're holding their breath.
He's been a great postseason player. Not good, but at times spectacular.
Here it comes, low. Remember, he had an 8-home run postseason with Houston. Team that did not reach the World Series.
I mean, he's played his entire career until now, 16 years, without getting into a World Series. He finally gets into one, and he's only in the game for 2 innings.
Strikes out and is only at bat. Here's the 2-2. Foul to the left eye to play. Axford led the National League in saves at 46 for the Brewers in 2011. He had 35 last year. He was plagued by home run balls. He gave up 10.
Yeah, there was a good pickup by the Cardinals, but as it turned out, the young guys really stepped up and have filled some other roles in Martinez and Rosenthal, but still another power arm for their pen.
They got him for a minor leaguer. The pitch, swing and a miss off speed. He goes down with a weak wave. And that makes Drew 3 for 38 in the postseason. 4 for 38 thanks to the gift hit. 2 down for Ross, who singled to right center, poking a curveball just over the glove of the leaping second baseman Carpenter, and then he struck out swinging. This week at Shaw's, pick up 48-ounce foot ice cream and Edie's Outshine fruit bars, just 2 for $5. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the Red Sox Radio Network. Two out, bases empty. And Ross takes a tentative swing and doesn't get it. Strike one. Pitch was in on the hands. He tried to hold up, but a strike anyway. 30-year-old righty delivers, and David takes it low and away. He listed at 6'5", 220. Long and lean, John Axford.
Looks like Randy Choate out there for the Cardinals getting loose. He might have the 7th.
He pitched briefly at Notre Dame, also at Canisius in Buffalo. One and one the count to Ross. Cardinals last played on Friday when they eliminated the Dodgers. The Red Sox on Saturday. The pitch. And it's a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. Koji's got mittens on out in the bullpen.
Trying to stay warm out there.
2-1. Swing the drive down the right field line. Slicing foul. Home run distance, but foul by maybe 15 feet.
I know Choate's out there in the pen, and a lot of these Red Sox hitters have seen him before, but I talked about the importance of seeing these guys. This is an old-school World Series feel, and because there wasn't an interleague series between these two teams. They really haven't seen many of these guys. They're not familiar with their relievers. So Ellsbury next at bat, if it's against Choate, you get re-familiar with them again and ready for the next game.
Pass ball over the outside edge, strike 3. He goes down looking, and so the Red Sox go 1-2-3. They've had only one base runner since the second inning, but after 6, 5-0 Boston on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. No scoring since the second inning, and the Cardinals have Freese, Adams, and Robinson due.
You know, Joe, I thought one advantage for the Red Sox was defense. You wonder what the score would be if there was better defense from St. Louis early in this one.
Ground ball foul by Freese over by the third base coaching box. Well, certainly Lester's been a lot sharper than Wainwright was. 6 strikeouts, just 1 walk for Lester, who's allowed 5 hits, all singles.
Yeah, no question, but the defensive questions I had for St. Louis was more of range factors, taking hits away than it was making errors.
Outside, yeah, they're pretty sure-handed normally. But, and Cosma especially.
Yeah.
Probably one of their better defenders. Charged with 2 errors. Here comes the 1-1, and it's top foul. Comes up and hits Freese on the shoulder. 1-2 to the suburban St. Louis product. World Series hero in 2011. Looked like Series would end when Nelson Cruz did not catch his fly ball to right. It went for a 2-run triple that tied the game. Then he won it with a walk-off home run in extra innings.
You remember the story we heard about Nelson Cruz in the aftermath of that?
The 1-2 outside.
That Nelson Cruz, the reason he was playing shallow and didn't get far enough back on that ball was because he was creeping in. He wanted to be part of the pileup on the pitcher's mound.
The celebration. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Oh, he threw a heater by him. 93 as he reached back. That's 7 strikeouts for Lester. He has really been bringing. And here's Adams, who hit a fly ball to left. Actually, a slicing line drive last time up. Gomes made a backhand diving catch, and then he grounded a second before that, so he's 0 for 2.
Good to see Jon still having the power in that 96th pitch of the game at 94 miles an hour, blowing fastball right by Freese.
Here comes the pitch, and it's in there for a call strike. We also heard Nelson Cruz went against the scouting report on that fly ball. And really, the Rangers should have won that. They really have great regrets.
Nelson Cruz has broken some rules.
More than once. The 0-1. Swing, a one-hopper hit to short, backhanded by Bogaerts on the left side, throws from left field and gets him. Well, they had the shift on. Bogaerts stayed home, the third baseman, playing with a shortstop Wood, and he made a very nice play. Very coolly for the out.
Boy, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch play. This kid Bogaerts, he plays with a calmness, in the field, at the plate. It's like he doesn't realize where he is or the situation that he's in, and it's a great thing to see.
Great to be 21 and playing in a World Series, and the world is at your feet.
Yes.
Talked to him before the game, so they're all watching in Aruba. All right, here is Robinson, and he takes a strike. He's grounded a short and single to left. Red Sox baseball brought to you by IBM. Bid-size business. The engines of a smarter planet. See more evidence at IBM.com/engine. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Top of the 7th, 5-0 Red Sox. This is now retired 6 in a row. Seeking his 8th punch out. The pitch. Swing and a pop foul hit weakly off the end of the bat to the screen.
100 pitch from Jon Lester, 101 actually, but he's been really sharp in this second half. But I think tonight, given the circumstances and the situation he's in, this is one of the better performances we've seen from him.
See if
this year.
Comes out for the 8th if he can get Robinson without too many more pitches here. He winds, kicks, and fires 0-2, and he swings and misses. Strike 3. Extended the strike zone there, and a changeup away. Well, he's had strikeouts in all of his pitches, and Lester has 8 punch-outs overall. The story of this game, along with the Cardinal errors. So here we go to the 7th with Ellsbury, who walked to start that 3-run first inning. Hit a fly ball to left and struck out looking.
Nobody getting loose in that Sox pen either, Joe.
No, Lester just over 100 pitches. Randy showed in the postseason 5 games, pitched 2 2/3 innings. There's not a lot of hit or a run. Low and inside ball 1. Red Sox with 3 in the first, and again an amazing stat over the last 3 World Series in the first inning. The Red Sox scored 4 runs in first inning of Game 1 in 04 against the Cardinals. 3 runs in first inning of Game 1. There's a ground ball bounced to the second baseman to his left. Carpenter has him, throws him out. 1 down. In Game 1 of 07, they got 4 runs in the first inning against Colorado. Here comes Matheny, so he was out there for just 1 batter. And then tonight, 3 runs in the first inning of Game 1. That's a great way to set the tone for World Series. Of course, the last 2, 04 and 07, resulted in sweeps. Now, Choate is a specialist, so he throws 2 pitches and departs. And we come your way here on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Seth Manis is the new pitcher, another rookie, one of the few arms that does not reach 100 miles an hour in their bullpen. More of a sinker slider sort. Menace unscored upon in the postseason. Delivers a call strike on a sinking fastball. It's in 5 games, 2 2/3 innings, no runs, 3 hits. Matheny mixes and matches quite a bit. The 0-1. Here's a soft line drive caught by the leaping first baseman Adams, who's 6'3". He reached up on his tiptoes, lunged for it, and grabbed it. Not the most graceful play, but he got it done.
Well, it looks like Mike Matheny's going to take this as an opportunity to maybe get some of his relievers in the game. Remember, their last game was Friday, so it's been a few days. So Manis gets in the game, Choke gets in the game, Axford, and the bullpen continues down there.
Segrist is loosening. He may come on for Ortiz. Here's Petey now, who single to center, single to left, and hit a fly ball to right. Caught on a nice play by Robinson. Call strike. Started him out with a slider away. Manis out of East Carolina University from Pinehurst. And the pitch is bounced to the third baseman. Easy hop for Freeze. Throws from the edge of the grass. Bounced it. And Pedroia safe. Careless throw. And Adams couldn't dig it out. That was an easy play. Had plenty of time. And another Cardinal error. The third they've been charged with. They could have been charged with at least 5.
Looks like Matheny's going to make another change.
Well, here we go. Many first basemen stabbed that, but Adams waved at it, slapped at it, and did not touch it. And our call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon Wireless and Geico here in the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. It's another rookie, Kevin Segrist, 6'5", 215 pounds. So he's brought on to face Ortiz.
Well, I understand what Mike Matheny is doing as far as getting some guys some action, get the rust off. Last game was Friday. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. You're giving David Ortiz a free look at a lefty that's going to have to get him out in key situations.
He might face him in the 7th inning in a 1-run game instead of in a 5-run game like this one. He swings and drives one high and deep, right center field, back by the bullpen, Robinson, and you can forget about this one. A 2-run homer for David Ortiz, and the Red Sox lead it 7-0. A high towering blast out where the pitchers sit in the Red Sox bullpen. 7-0 Boston.
Well, sometimes a free look is overrated. Who needs a free look? Maybe you should have saved that first one for later on, but David Ortiz does not wait around. If nothing else, he might have bought himself a first pitch slider later on in this series after jumping all over that first pitch heater.
His 2nd World Series home run. His 4th home run of this postseason. He has 9 RBIs now in the postseason. He had one taken away by Beltran, a near grand slam in the 2nd inning, the play in which Beltran hurt his ribs. So he's now 2 for 3. It reached on an error his first time up by Cosma, the rule that was overturned. There's a foul straight back by Napoli. The call that was overturned. And David got a fastball about belt tie right down the middle, and he had a high towering blast. And now he comes out for a curtain call. David overall his 16th postseason homer. Napoli takes it outside. Napoli started the scoring after that reversed decision on the play at second. Red Sox had the bases loaded in the first, and Knapp drilled a 3-run double up the gap in left center. 7-0 Red Sox to pitch. And he swings and foul tips it into the mitt.
Boy, it's good to see David getting locked in here. Like you said, great catch by Carlos Beltran. If not, you're looking at a couple home runs, 6 RBIs, 3 hits from David. But he's a guy you like to see locked in. There's no question. That 16th home run tied Carlos Beltran, by the way, I believe, in postseason.
1-2 is low. Well, the pitchers went up to jump for that ball out there in the bullpen right over their dugout, and it landed off the glove of a fan on the dugout roof, the bullpen dugout roof. A high, towering, majestic home run. Here's the 2-2. Swing. There's a shot hammered to center field. Jay moves back, turns, and makes the catch. Ball sunk on him to retire the side. But the Red Sox get 2 more, and they're both unearned because of the error by Freeze that would have retired the side. 7 innings complete here at Fenway Park in Game 1 of the 2013 World Series. Red Sox 7, Cardinals nothing on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Junichi Tozawa throwing in the Red Sox bullpen right now. As Lester begins his 8th inning with a 7-0 lead, and Pete Kozma. First pitch to the right-hand batters outside for ball 1. Kozma in this one's popped up and also flied to right. He's had a very, very tough night defensively. Made a couple of defensive mistakes. For the 1-0 pitch. And in there for a strike over the outside edge. He's the 9 hitter. Matt Carpenter, the leadoff man, is on deck. And then John Jay. What we do not know right now is how long they're going to miss Carlos Beltran. Is he done just for tonight? Is he done for a couple of nights or the whole series? Next pitch in there for a called strike. A changeup. 1-2. Well, John has to be feeling pretty good about himself. He has not thrown many changeups tonight. But here he breaks one out in the 8th inning. 7 runs, 7 hits for the Red Sox. Here comes the 1-2 to Kozma. That's down and in for a ball. No runs, 5 hits, 3 errors, and an ugly performance by the St. Louis Cardinals.
David Ortiz has been so aggressive in postseason. His grand slam in Game 2 of the ALCS was on the first pitch he saw from Benoit. He had a first pitch home run here off Segras, the lefty.
The 2-2 coming. Up and away for a ball. It's actually the second time tonight that Poppy's hit one over the wall.
Right. Beltran brought one back. 3 of his 4 home runs in this postseason have come off lefties. Of course, the first 2 were off David Price.
You mentioned this earlier, too, Joe, the fact that St. Louis has scuffled all season long against lefties. That's an Achilles heel for them. They're 19-23 against left-handed starters. Look what Jon Lester's done to them.
Would we see more of Felix Dubron?
That was the question I was hoping you would ask. That may be a possibility. He's on the roster. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing, ground ball to the shortstop. Easy scoop for Drew. Up with it. And guns on to get him. Kozma 0 for 3. 1 man out. In the 8th inning, it's 108 pitches now for John, with 1 away in the 8th. A State Street Corporation is proud to sponsor and host multiple community groups throughout the Red Sox season at the State Street Pavilion at Fenway, where corporate citizenship and volunteerism is a long-standing worldwide tradition. 1 away, Carpenter now. The leadoff man is 1 for 3. He singled back in the 5th inning. He's also struck out looking. One of 8 Ks in the book, courtesy of Jon Lester. And he's grounded to short.
Carlos Martinez, who averages 100 miles an hour, warming now for the Cardinals.
They have some live arms in that bullpen, make no mistake. A pitch on the way. Off speed, down low for a ball. A slow curveball at 74 miles an hour. Tomorrow, Game 2 of the World Series from Fenway Park. John Lackey against Michael Wacha. They have both been very good in the postseason. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike. Fastball 92. 1-1 on the lefty hitting Carpenter. It was an extra base machine during the season for St. Louis. And for the most part, out of the leadoff spot, he had 73 extra base hits. 3rd best in the National League. The 1-1. That's over but low. Just missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. A very, very solid job behind home plate by John Hirschbeck. I got to believe that Hirschbeck had a lot to do with overturning Dana DeMuth's blown call early in the game. The 2-1 home. Swinging a high twisting fly to left center field. Ellsbury moving in. Bit to his right. Underneath it. And makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down.
I would think he was the prime mover. He is the crew chief, and he had the best angle.
Here comes John Farrell. And we're going to soak this in. This ovation for Jon Lester. They rise around Fenway for the big left-hander. In Game 1 of the World Series, he pitched to Jim. 7 2/3, and out he comes. The stuff of aces. Junichi Tozawa on the hill now, and he deals to the lefty batter Jay. First pitch swung on, fouled back out of play. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball to get started. A chilly but lovely night here in Boston. In the Back Bay area, Red Sox with a 7-0 lead in Game 1 of the series. You got 3 of those in the very first inning, and a bases loaded double by Mike Napoli, shot into the left center field alley. Then added 2 more in the second inning. 2 in the 7th on the David Ortiz home run. The pitch on the way. Breaking ball, foul ball. Little chopper back behind the plate. 0-2. Ryan Dempster, who has never pitched in a World Series, is now loosening in the Red Sox bullpen.
I bet his heart is fluttering. He's so excited after all these years to be in the World Series.
He's a terrific guy. He's a great teammate. All his teammates will say that. This is a wonderful opportunity for him. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way from Tezawa. Swing foul, little chopper to the left, right to the front row of the box seats. 0-2. Top of the Prue is lit up in red. Nothing but red in this series between the Cardinals and the Sox. Tezawa straightens up now. A right-hander from Japan with the bases empty and 2 down. Fires the 0-2. And it is inside and boxed around a bit by Ross. He dropped it. Ross has caught a great game. And Jon Lester, as is his habit in the past, I'm sure will almost immediately reference that. The fact that Ross has become a terrific battery mate with him. And I'm sure you'll see it again in this series, those two. Jay has walked and tapped to short, 0 for 1. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to the lefty batter, and it's outside. Crowd really wanted to strike out there and make it a 1-2-3 inning. St. Louis has not had a base runner since the 5th inning. They went 1-2-3 in the 6th and the 7th, and now 2 away in the 8th. 7-0 Boston. Here's the pause by Junichi. He's ready in the 2-2 home. And in there for strike 3. Got him looking. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He strikes out Jay, admiring the pitch, and the side is retired. 1-2-3. Red Sox pitching has been superb in Game 1. Here's Daniel Nava, and the first pitch to Daniel is in there for a strike. His first World Series at bat. Daniel has been to some degree a forgotten man after a very, very fine regular season, hitting over 300. Pitch on the way as he hits lefty, and that trims the outside corner for a called strike, and he's behind 0-2. That fastball 96.
He's handled it very well, very professionally.
Johnny Gomes has taken over regularly in left field. Johnny made another fine play tonight out there while going 0 for 3 at the plate. Made a diving catch. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Nava. Well outside for a ball. Martinez in the postseason has appeared in 7 games. He's 0-1 with a 2.70 ERA. And he can get it up there to 100 miles an hour. He's a rookie. Here's the 1-2 home. Breaking ball around the outside corner on Nava. Xander Bogaerts on deck, and then Stephen Drew in the last half of the 8th inning. Same start time for Game 2 tomorrow night, 8:07. John Lackey will throw the first pitch. Lack coming off a brilliant outing against the Tigers. The 2-2 swing and a high fly lifted to left toward the wall. Racing back Holiday. It's going to drop on the warning track, and it caroms one big bounce up against the fence. Down to second base, stopping there. Daniel Nava loops a double down the line. So his first World Series at bat, he's got himself an extra base hit
on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
And who was on the top step cheering most loudly and demonstrably for Daniel Nava? None other than Johnny Gomes. Yet another example of how tight-knit this Red Sox team is. Been a huge part of their success. Here's Xander now. Bogaerts tonight 0 for 3, struck out twice and grounded to short. Runner at second base, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high pop-up foul that'll drift out of play to the right, off into the crowd, up into Canvas Alley. That fastball was 99 from Mr. Martinez. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station ID on the Shaws WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Your home for Red Sox baseball. Sports Radio WEEI Boston, WEEI FM and HD1 Lawrence, Boston.
The pitch down low for a ball. Squares the count at 1-1 on Bogarts. 7-0 Sox. They have 8 hits now to the Cardinals 5. Cardinals have also committed 3 errors on a sloppy night for them. Here's the set in the 1-1. Up high and over the top of the mid of Molina. Off the mid, it goes all the way to the backstop. That'll advance Nava from second to third on a wild one at 97, and Molina could not slow it down. Just touched the top of that mid. Now Molina, very fatherly, drapes a right arm around the shoulder of Martinez and walks him several steps back toward the mound.
Martinez was signed by the Red Sox out of the Dominican Republic, but before he could throw a pitch, he was released because they found out he'd been playing under an assumed name and some identity questions.
The infield is in despite the 7-0 score in the Sox favor. Here's the 2-1 and a breaking ball strike on the inside corner that had Xander jumping back out of the way. They had Martinez on the yo-yo during the regular season. 5 separate times he was recalled from the minor leagues. He stretches and with a runner at third delivers, swinging a line shot into left. Holiday backs up. He'll make the catch, tagging at third. Here's Nava. He races home and the Red Sox lead at 8-0. Give the RBI to Xander Bogaerts, his first World Series run batted in, and the Red Sox continue to add on. And Xander really laid into that long line drive to left field. Give him a sacrifice and an RBI. So now 1 away for Stephen Drew. Will be looking for his second hit. The first one was a pop-up about 5 feet in front of the pitcher's mound that fell in. First one on the way outside for ball. Since then he has struck out twice. That should have been caught. That pop-up, it fell right at the feet of Adam Wainwright, the pitcher, with the catcher Molina charging out at him. The pitch is outside for a ball. More like sauntering out at him. One of many mistakes made tonight by the Cardinals. The 2-0 swing fouled back. One thing we know about the Red Sox: they will pounce on you if you make mistakes, and they will make you pay. They've done it all season long.
4 of the runs unearned. It could be more than that too. There've been some generous scoring.
Martinez home with a 2-1. Swing, ground ball to first base. Easy stab for Adams. He has it. Goes to the base, and the first baseman makes the play unassisted. And there are 2 down in the Red Sox 8th. Boston up 8-0. And we'll find out tomorrow how quickly the Cardinals can forget about a dreadful outing, really top to bottom by their team. Wainwright at this point would take the loss. Even their bullpen, much vaunted bullpen, has been touched up for 3 runs, including a home run by Big Papi. Here's David Ross, and Martinez was about to throw. Ross asked for time. He stepped out. Granted late there by Jon Hirschbeck. Martinez was midway through his windup. He did hold on to the baseball, but did not deliver. Base is empty. 2 down in the 8th. The pitch coming, and it's up and in for a ball. I don't think Ross is too pleased by that, and now Molina is going to walk out to the pitcher's mound. That was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's possible Martinez took umbrage that Ross asked for timeout late, but it was granted late, and maybe that was his way of answering. And maybe Molina's trying to reel the kid in a little bit.
May just be nervous. Certainly fidgety.
Yeah, he is. He is as nervous as a cup of coffee. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's downstairs, 2-0. He does throw hard. That is a live arm. He's 97, 98, 99. 8-0 Sox in the last of the 8th. Another run in here in the 8th inning. Here's the 2-0 to Ross. Swinging a high fly, lifted to right. Robinson backs up a bit, plenty of room, and will make the catch shy of the warning track to retire the side. Sox tack on one more, and we go to the 9th inning. The Red Sox leading the Cardinals here on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. I think it's safe to assume the Cardinals are going to play better baseball the rest of the series than they played tonight. They had better. Ryan Dempster made his major league debut way back in 1998 with the Marlins, delivers to Holiday and drops in strike one. And the man that he broke in with, the manager at that time, has just quit the Detroit Tigers, Jim Leyland, who was his first manager. And we're going to miss Jim Leyland, who was a great baseball man, great baseball mind. He served the game so well. Every team he managed, he did such a great job. The 0-1 pitch inside and runs Holiday off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. He will be missed.
We certainly love to visit with him. Learn more baseball in a short time. Every time you talk to Jim, you learn something about the game.
In his unique style, a national treasure. Here's the pitch. Swing a chopper to third, but foul.
Certainly a Hall of Fame candidate.
Yep, no doubt. Red Sox ending his season and his run with the Tigers in the American League Championship Series. They didn't lose that series because their starters underperformed. The Red Sox beat them in many other phases, though. Here's the 1-2 to Holiday. Swinging a high, deep drive, left center field. That one's headed for the wall, rising up toward the light standard. That's gone. A home run. Matt Holliday destroys one into the light standard. The second light standard moving left to right on top of the monster. And there goes the shutout bid. That makes it 8-1 Red Sox. Solo home run for Holliday here in the 9th inning. That was gone. That ball was hit. He is really strong. You look at Holiday, Joe, at his size and his power, tremendous natural strength. He only hit 22 home runs during the season. Not that that's horrible, but you'd think a guy of his power would hit a lot more than that.
Especially surrounded by a good lineup.
Yeah. Here's Alan Craig. He takes outside, ball 1. So it's 8-1. No shutout tonight for the Red Sox pitching staff, as Ryan Dempster gives up a long solo home run to Matt Holliday. Craig has gone 1 for 3 in his return to the lineup. The pitch over the outside corner, a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1 the count.
Koji was up warming. I don't know whether that's just to get some work or he may come into the game because he hasn't pitched since Saturday.
He has sat down. Dempster in search of his first out in the 9th delivers. Swing fouled off the end of the bat backward on a slider, and the count 1-2.
Holliday's 11th postseason home run overall.
Dempster looking in for a sign from Ross. Nobody on base. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a pop-up. Right side. Shallow right. Racing out Pedroia. Coming on Victorino. Victorino wants it. He takes it. One man gone. Foxwoods Resort Casino is giving away a 2013 Lincoln MKZ on Sunday, the 27th of October. Earn entries starting October 1 with double entries on Sundays. Visit foxwoods.com. Foxwoods, the official partner of the Boston Red Sox. One away for Yadier Molina. He is 1 for 3 with a single. The all-star catcher has won the last 5 Gold Gloves in the National League. The pitch. That's a strike in the outside corner. Red Sox baseball is presented by AutoZone. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone. Pitch is on the way and down and in for a ball. A slider to make it 1-1 on Molina. David Freese on deck. You know, every time our hometown team hits one off the left field wall, Walgreens donates $100 to the Jimmy Fund. Walgreens at the corner, happy and healthy. The 1-1 to Molina, down and away. He hit .319 during the regular season, which is tops on this Cardinal team. Certainly a National League MVP candidate. Very, very tough guy to strike out, too. Here's the 2-1 from Dempster. Waved at and foul tipped right at the plate to make it 2-2. We're in the top of the 9th inning. Red Sox 8, Cardinals 1. The Red Sox on the verge of taking a 1-0 lead in the World Series. And also running their record to 9 consecutive World Series wins. The 2-2. Swing popped him up. Right side again. Shallow right center. Pedroia out, calling everybody off, and he makes the catch. 2 down. 1 more out to get. 1 more out to go here in Game 1 of the World Series. David Freese standing in the way. He struck out twice and also, with the bases loaded, hit into a double play. 8 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Red Sox. 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors for the Cardinals. And Dempster comes set and delivers. Swing foul back out of play in the air. That gets into the second deck. And it's strike 1 on Freese. John Lackey tomorrow night against Michael Wacha. Outstanding young pitcher, but Lackey was just brilliant his last start. Here's the 0-1 home. Swing foul back, and it's 0-2 on a fastball. So 1 more strike, and the Red Sox lead the series 1-0. Nothing in 2 on Freese. Red Sox up by 7 in the 9th. Dempster home of the 0-2, and it is low for a ball. 1-2 the count. He went with a splitter, and Freese would not bite. Sox scored 5 times over the first 2 innings. The Cardinals gave the Sox a lot of help defensively. They made 3 errors tonight. Dempster with a 1-2 pitch, and it's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3 errors, and they could have been charged with more than that. That's not how they won 97 games. It doesn't figure they'll play that way the rest of the series, but who knows? Dempster, right foot up against the rubber, looks in for a sign from Ross. Freese brings up the bat. Here comes the 2-2 home. Swing, line drive to right field. That'll drop down for a hit, maybe. Up with it, Victorino throwing to first base. He slides in. God, did not get him. Oh, that was close. That's a base hit. Boy, that was close. Victorino loves to give that a try once in a while. Freese went sliding in feet first and barely beat it.
Shane thought he was safe from the look on his face. I don't know why he went sliding.
Yeah, it looked like he did get in there from the angle we just looked at. We'll watch one more. Yeah, I think he was there with the foot. Close, though. Base hit. Well, that, I think, will put something in the heads of the Cardinals from now on. When they pull one to right like that, Victorino will come up gunning.
It won't make them happy either.
So Matt Adams will step in. He's gone 0 for 3 tonight. Here's the pitch. And a fastball in there for a strike. He's grounded to second, lined out to left, and grounded to third. 8-1 Sox. Red Sox leading in the hit column 8-7. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a ground ball foul off the first base line. And it's 0-2. So for the second time tonight, the Boston Red Sox are a strike away from taking game 1. Dempster flips down the rosin bag on the backside of the hill. Now the right foot snugly up against the rubber. Adams, the big lefty hitter, Holds up the bat. Dempster sets and delivers. And it is inside for a ball, 1-2. That was a slider that slid off. Dempster again with a pause. Freeze at first. Here's the 1-2. Swing a little number foul off to the left of the plate. He barely hung in there. Robinson on deck. Freeze at first base. 2 down in the ninth. 8-1 Boston. 1-2 on Matt Adams. Dempster would love to finish it off with a strikeout. The bearded righty fires in. Swing and a miss. He did. He struck him out. And the Red Sox win Game 1 of the World Series. 8-1 over the Cardinals. They have 3 more wins and they're world champs. Ryan Dempster strikes out the last man he faces. And the Red Sox just dominated the Cardinals tonight. St. Louis playing a very sloppy brand of baseball. Certainly not what got them here to Boston and the World Series. Jon Lester was outstanding. He picks up the win as he goes deep into the night, 7 2/3, allowing 5 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts. He gets the win. That and the Red Sox capitalizing, Joe, as they did all season long on the other guys' mistakes, led to a relatively easy win in Game 1.
Yes, indeed, a most opportunistic team. They had the big hits with men in scoring position. Napoli with a big 3-run blow in the first inning, the biggest blow of the game. And Jon Lester was okay against the Tigers when he got the win in Game 5, but tonight he was absolutely dominant.
Dustin, Jon Lester tonight, 7 2/3 scoreless. What made him so good?
He was locating both sides of the plate. His cutter's so tough, and when he goes away to righties and locates the way he does, I mean, it's pretty impressive tonight.
The play in the first inning, the play that was overturned. What did you think when you were called out at second base?
Well, I was just trying to slide in there and try to break up 2, and kind of saw, it wasn't on the transfer. But, I mean, he calls you out. You got to run off the field, but glad they got it right.
How surprised were you that they overturned it?
I don't know. I was just sitting there with my stuff on. I mean, they got a lot of, great umpires out here. I mean, there's a lot of them. So, they put their heads together and try to get it right. That's the best way to do things.
Last thing, Dustin. 2007 was your last World Series. How much fun is it being back?
Yeah, it's a blast. We're the last 2 teams playing. We played both teams that played their tails off all year long to get to this point. So you got to have fun and enjoy it and play the best you can.
Dustin, thanks a lot. Over to Aaron Andrews.
Kenny, thanks so much. Poppy, first let me ask you about the call that was overturned. We saw how it affected the Cardinals. How did it affect you guys?
Well, it was pretty obvious that it wasn't in a transfer. It seems like he missed the ball and the umpire got the right call, and we got some momentum going on.
Momentum for you at the plate tonight. A nice night, 3 RBI, a home run, almost a grand slam out there. What was the difference for you at the plate?
Nothing, just like I said before, in that one series against the Tiger, I didn't get that many hits, but I was putting some good swing on the ball, and I just stick with my plan.
What was your reaction when you saw Carlos Beltran come up with that ball back there?
But we keep on playing, we got at least we got an RBIs, and it was a good situation. We was up by 4, and we continue the momentum.
Poppy, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's MLB Tonight, presented by Bacardi Oakart. We're inside Studio 3. Sean Casey, Mitch Williams, Matt Yaloff. Game 1 of the World Series is just about done. And of all the scenarios, guys, going into this game, we didn't see this one coming. The Cardinals' case didn't look ready to go in this game.
You know what, Mitch? We talked about it earlier. This is the one place, Fenway Park, as a visiting player, when you come in there, the nerves are a little different, let alone if it's Game 1 of the World Series. And it looked to me like the Cardinals were caught up in Fenway Park, caught up in the emotions of this game, and they got hit in those first couple innings real fast. Wainwright didn't look sharp, made a couple mental errors. Cosmo dropped the ball. All before they knew it was 5-0.
And that's exactly right. I know going in there as an opposing player. I was young when I was in the American League starting off there, and going to Boston, that fan base can rattle you, and it showed in Cosma. I looked at Wainwright, and to me, he just didn't look like a guy that was the veteran starter of that staff. The butterfly should be gone now.
No.
Tomorrow night, you should really see how good this Cardinal defense and lineup really is.
Yep. Time for the Cardinals to get back, regroup. Game 1's over with. Come out. Game 2's a new day. Get it going.